Hi there, how are you? Welcome back to the channel and to Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trilogy Part 5. And we're on Episode 5. Just make sure I get the right one of these. Rise from Ashes, Day 2 Trial Latter, I'm assuming. Yes, okay. And we're just out of court. We had a rough go of it, actually. We fucking failed several times. We just about made it through this first part of the trial. What is this case? So, oh, right, yes. So the chief prosecutor is suspected of murdering a detective using Edgeworth's knife and leaving the body in Edgeworth's car at, like, the prosecutor's office. There we go. That's where we are. There's also a lunch lady who is, like, a former detective who has a grudge against prosecutors, who's like the key witness. I think that's sort of everything. I'm trying to remember what was sort of the main salient points that were established in the prior trial. They'll come to me. February 23rd, 11:56 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 2. Mr. Wright? Huh? What? Are trials always like this with you? Like you're swimming up from the bottom of a lake about to reach the surface, but no matter how hard you paddle, you never seem to get there? Pretty much. Except today we're swimming in quicksand. So what happened to your sister anyway? Apparently she got called off to the judge's chambers. Probably something to do with that piece of cloth. So, this is where we turn this trial around, right? Our only weapon, a tiny insignificant piece of cloth. That's right, there was like a piece of cloth was found in Edgeworth's car's tailpipe. The prosecutor, who is Emma's sister, was on the phone with Emma and had mentioned the word muffler on the phone, which initially was thought to have referred to her scarf type thing, but we have since found that there was like something in the muffler. Boom. I'm the one who's starting to feel tiny and insignificant, to tell the truth. Hola, partner! Oh no, I thought it was, no, pal is what Gumshoe always said. They say you show a red cloth to a bull, it'll fire up its temper. That's what they told me when I was a young'un, at least. Officer Marshall! There's also this guy, who's like a regular plainclothes cop, but he dresses like a cowboy. Thought I'd come to take a look-see at how the trial's going. Looks like I'm late. They've got the home ranch locked down tighter than a fort in enemy territory. That hard to slip out, huh? What's going on over there, anyway? All the police I've seen these last 2 days have been really on edge. Don't you got enough on your plate without worrying about other people, compadre? You could be worrying about the chief prosecutor's taste in mufflers, for example. Officer Marshall? The whole muffler thing didn't have anything to do with scarves. She wasn't even wearing a scarf. Are we about to get... No, I thought we were about to get a spit take. You don't say. Now that just... don't that just beat all? I've seen the red breeze blow at her slender neck many a time. I saw it that day too. I thought she was wearing a red muffler as well, yeah. She was wearing a red muffler. What? At the awards ceremony that afternoon. Edgeworth's seen it too, I reckon. What does that mean? In the photograph taken at the crime scene, she wasn't wearing a scarf. That's true. So Miss Starr wasn't mistaken. Well, it's about time. Remember, partner, sometimes you gotta grab the bull by the horns. And sometimes you just gotta let that bull go where it will. Time will tell. Ugh, I have a bad feeling about this. So, what are we swimming in now, Mr. Wright? If it's steak sauce, I can hook you up with some fine ribs. Ooh-wee. I like Marshall. Unless it turns out he's the killer, then fuck him. Ooh, we're back in court. I like to resume. What's up? Judge keeps looking over at the prosecution. Oh. Is something wrong, Mr. Edgeworth? Your face is blue, your lips are purple, you're sweating bullets. That furrowed brow, those grinding teeth, those watery eyes. What's more, your eyes are unfocused. You're doubled over. Your back is bent. It can't be. This can't happen. I wonder what happened to Mr. Edgeworth. Well then, I believe it is time we continued on with this trial. During our recess, I had requested that the prosecution conduct an investigation. This is unacceptable! It seems our prosecutor is quite beside himself. Excuse me, knock knock. Who's there? Who the fuck are you? What's with this guy? A strange stuffy aura seems to be filling the courtroom. Hey, the temperature rose 5.7 degrees when that man came in. Who on earth is he? Ah, it's you! Well, at least the judge is expecting him. Oh, sorry I'm late, Udgy. The roads were packed. It's just me. Long time no see, eh, Udgy? How you been? Swim much these days? Ah, hello. No, I've been so busy. Busy, smizzy, Udgy, my boy. You have to make time to relax. Yes, indeed. Udgy seems to be his nickname for the judge. I'm afraid you're right. Very afraid. Sorry, but who are you? Aha! So you're Righto, the attorney. I've heard good things about you, son. Thanks. So sorry about our little worthy giving you all that trouble, eh? You know, we should all go swimming together sometime. Jolly! Little worthy? Mr. Wright. You don't know the district chief of police? Chief of police? He's the top-ranking police officer in the entire district. What's with his tie? Name's Gant. Damon Gant. Pleased to meet you, everyone. I'm trying to figure out if there's like a pun there, but I don't see it yet. Damon Gant. Or Damon Gant. Still nothing. So, to what do we owe this honour today? It's been over 2 years since you last came to this courtroom, hasn't it? Well, it's worthy here. Look at the poor fellow. I just thought I'd help out by bringing this. Hey, that's my sister's muffler. So Miss Starr wasn't just seeing things. When the crime occurred, Miss Skye really was wearing that muffler. But to think that it was that it was stuffed into that exhaust pipe. On little Worthy's car, no less. Dramatic pause. It's really quite embarrassing, even for us. What's this? It's what you'd call a switchblade knife. Quite perplexing, this. That's the shot in development. Chief! What kind of outfit are you running? Mr. Edgeworth, how could they miss such a vital piece of evidence? If your investigators are this lax, how do you expect us to do our job? Now wait a minute, Worthy. I've no desire to hear your excuses. I'm telling you to wait. Or didn't you hear me? Have a look at this document, where it says, person in charge of investigation. There's no mistaking that signature, is there? Miles Edgeworth? That's not fair. On the day of the crime, I had... You're head in the clouds because you got that award. I know how you feel. But you're the person in charge. I'll expect a written apology. What? Are you serious? Don't be too upset. We'll find a way to clean up this mess that you made. This is the first time I've seen Mr. Edgeworth at a loss for words. Yeah, it tends to happen at least once a trial. This kind of major blunder is unlike you, Mr. Edgeworth. Gah! The court accepts this new evidence, but I'd like to ask the defence a favour first. Yes? Just to be sure. I'd like to take a look at the blade of this knife. The blade, Your Honor. Well, I don't see why not. Could you open it up for me, I wonder? Yes, well, I think all you have to do is push that switch and... If I cut my finger, Mr. Wright, I wouldn't be able to point my gavel anymore. Yeah, but if I cut my finger, I wouldn't be able to point it at people anymore. And that is more important. Come on, just hurry up and open it. Oh, it's doing it by itself. I thought I was doing it. Switchblade knife. So, switch. Blade. Ah! Don't scare me like that. I'm the one who's scared. Look at this knife blade. The tip is broken off. And this dark red stain. Blood? Switchblade knife added to the court record. Found at the crime scene wrapped in defendant's muffler. Small tag attached. This does not excuse the actions of the police department. I would like to hear an explanation from the chief of police himself. I'm terribly sorry, but could I ask you to testify for us? About the split between the prosecutors and the police. And this knife. Sure thing. Not a problem. Not even a little one, really. Seems affable enough, chap. This knife is special, but I can't say how here. Unless there's evidence to prove a connection between this knife and Goodman. That was a bad day for the department. We weren't in any shape to do an investigation. A detective was killed at the police department, see? What a mess. The time of the crime, 5:15. Scary coincidence, eh? It's not officially linked to this here case, so I can't talk much about it. What? There was a murder at the police department? A detective? That's hush-hush information, Hudgy. We haven't exactly announced it yet. Wait a second. You said 5:15. That's the exact time that Detective Goodman was killed at the prosecutor's office. So it was. Order! 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 Anyway, we at the department were all flustered, as you might well assume. We're in the middle of a top secret investigation. Don't tell anyone, okay? I think we understand the police department's situation. Well, Mr. Wright? 2 detectives killed at the same time in 2 different places. The chances of that are really slim. Scientifically speaking, of course. I'd like to exercise my right to cross-examine the witness. My phoenix right. Very well, however, keep your questions focused on the case at hand. Okay. Department in disorder. This knife is special, but I can't say how here. Excuse me. Special? Hard to come by this particular knife anywhere else. Might that special thing be this little tag? Oh, sorry, Righto, but I can't say that now. Not that. We've established that the knife in Goodman's chest was this knife. Now, why was there another knife at the scene of the crime? That's quite a mystery. And like a mystery, it's wrapped in something. A muffler. Unless there's evidence to prove a connection between this knife and Goodman. I'm just going to press on everything for the time being. This knife was found on the scene of the crime, of our crime. I think that makes it connected to the case, don't you? See, there's a lot of things that go on at the department I can't explain. It's delicate, okay? Sorry, Righto. Maybe there's something about the knife that will give us a clue. Let's examine that knife while we can, Righto. Evidence that links this knife to Detective Goodman. I think perhaps the pieces are falling into place. I should try presenting the piece of evidence that's had me stumped all this time. So, how were things down at the department? We'll do all the pressing first and then we'll see what that's about, because I don't honestly know. That was a bad day for the department. We weren't in any shape to do an investigation. I imagine because of the murders. Something happened at the police department too, huh? You got a good look in your eyes there, Righto, my boy. Sharp, hungry. So, something did happen, and why wasn't I informed? Why weren't you informed? Well, why didn't you ask? Fair. No matter, I understand. You were busy, what with Lana's case and all. Well, what happened? What happened at the police department that day? A detective was killed at the police department, see? What a mess. On the same day that a detective was killed in the prosecutor's parking lot. Another detective was killed at the police department? That's a fact. Surprising, isn't it, Aji? I'm at a loss for words. And the perpetrator? Do you have a suspect? Well, there was a suspect. Just arrested him, in fact. Just arrested? That was quick. But there's still a lot of unanswered questions. Maybe you could help, Righto. I suppose I could help if you help me by giving me data on your case. Oh, good one. This kid's sharp. Okay, here's the deal. I'll tell you one thing and one thing only. Well, we know all this. 5:15. Well, I suppose we don't know specifically. So tell me, where was the victim found? Well, I can't speak on where the corpse was found, but I can say the crime took place in the evidence room at the police department. The evidence room? You wouldn't know about the evidence room, would you, Righto? I've been there, I think. I thought I had. I can't say I've heard of it. No, it was like case files is where I was. I guess I should ask once again once I learn a bit more about this evidence room. There's something stranger about this than the place where the body was found. The time of the crime, 5:15. Scary coincidence, eh? 5:15. But that's when Detective Goodman was killed in the prosecutor's office. What? Funny, isn't it? A murder at the prosecutor's place and a murder at our place at the very same time. What are the chances? What are the chances, I wonder? Coincidence. This is just my gut feeling, but I'd say there's a 0.001% chance of that happening. Huh, good to know. Chief Gant, please tell us more about the incident. It's not officially linked to this here case, so I can't talk much about it. Then why are you here? How can you say there's no connection? How? Because I'm the chief of police. I can't just say anything I please, Righto. You understand? Try to understand, Righto. Well, if you can prove there is a connection, more power to you. Maybe there is something that ties the two murders together. Whatever it is, I'd better find it and get to the bottom of this. 2 detectives were killed at 5:15, one at the prosecutor's office and one at the police department. That can't be a coincidence. And the knife. What was it doing there? I better check this knife out. Yeah, that was my plan. So it's present. And then, can I check it from here? Yes, okay. So we've looked at that, we've got the tag. There's a small tag on the knife. It says SL92. What's that supposed to mean? I'm not sure, but it reminds me of a similar code. DL6. Maybe it's a case number? That's weird. What? I don't remember where, but I think I've seen something like this before. Something similar to what's written on this tag. It wasn't that long ago either. Maybe I should check the court record again. Just make sure there's nothing else on the knife. No, okay. Just want to take a quick look at Goodman's ID. I don't think it was it. I did say specifically the court record. Why did I look at the court record? I don't know. This is the court record, isn't it? No, this is the evidence. Maybe it's the evidence. Not there. Autopsy. Nope. Wait, what was the numbers again? SL-92. Okay. There's nothing there. Floor plans, nothing there. 675, 12.2, nothing there. Definitely nothing there. Nothing with you. Nothing on that knife. Oh, hold on. It's probably just going over what we've already found. It's supposed to be the victim's blood, right? Either that or Edgeworth cut himself peeling an apple. What's Edgeworth doing with a knife like this anyway? Hey, maybe he spends his weekends roughing it in the wild. Edgeworth? Oh, we've had this conversation before. That's fine. In the wild? I think my fruit peeling theory is more likely. Are you kidding? I always pictured him as an outdoorsman. And there's a scary thought. Yes, that doesn't teach us anything new. And that's all there was there. So it's nothing to do with the knife. Hold on. No, it's not. I'll play it. Use all previous recipients. List a bunch of times on karma. Okay, so we've had that. That didn't tell us anything. Okay, so it's not the trophy. Cell phone. Probably nothing to do with the boring strap. Push the button. Nothing to do with the phone. Nothing there. We'll just take a quick look at these again. SL92. Hold on. SL9. It's the note. Alright, now when do I present this? Oh, that would have been connected. That upside down is that. Right down to the dash. I'm a fucking genius. The witness's statement is clearly faulty, Your Honor. I'm sorry, but I can see nothing faulty. Okay, I guess not. Maybe I have to press first? No, because press doesn't give me a chance to... Does it? Oh, that's probably this point, isn't it? I think I'm right, it's just I picked the wrong point to do it. Yeah, the music went, so there we go. Wait a second! Ah, at last! An honest-to-goodness objection. This knife. This has to have something to do with Detective Goodman. What do you mean? Aha! An honest-to-goodness, what do you mean from Udgy? This is great! Look at the tag on this knife. It reads SL-92. And this is important. Why? Over here we also have a memo that was on the body of the victim. What's this? 6 minus 7S 1212? Your Honor, it's upside down. Upside. The printed name on the memo makes it look like it's right side up. But turn it around and what do you get? Ah, aha! Whoever wrote this note was holding the paper upside down. SL-9. That's the same thing that is written on the knife's tag. Order! Order! Well, Chief? Well, I guess the cat's out of the bag. You win, righto. I win? What game is this guy playing? This knife was evidence in a case. It was stolen from the department's evidence room. Let's just go through all this. So this knife was stolen. Yes, but on the day of the murder. It was evidence, you say. Was it, in fact, a murder weapon? Nice, nice, nice. Good show, little worthy. It was a murder weapon, as it happens. It was evidence from a case long since solved. So this knife was stolen on the day of the murder. And it was found in the exhaust pipe of Edgeworth's car. Hard to think there isn't a connection there. That was a bad day for the department. We weren't in any shape to do an investigation. So that's the same thing, but we'll... detective was killed, police department, want to see what a mess. Time of the crime, 5:15, scary coincidence. It's not officially linked to this here case, so I can't talk much about it. So now do I present... Do we have new evidence? What do you think? Okay, no, I'm about to get penalised. So that was wrong. We just need to let it play out. Okay, I guess not. I'm still missing something. Maybe we just press on everything again. Oh, maybe that last point we press now that we've proved there's a link. That makes sense. Pardon me. How can you say there's no connection? That's the same bit. I've done that. Haven't I? Uh-huh. Okay. That was the whole point of the thing. I've made the connection. Did I try this already? I'm just gonna hold on. Just because I can't remember if I've already tried it or not, so I don't feel that warrants me being punished again. Okay, yeah. I thought I had. Okay. Just go through and press. So we've already pressed on that again. Let's press on you again. Something happened. Yes. Okay, so that's all as was. Have we had this before? It's a fact. Surprising. Yes. Okay, so it's I asked the wrong question last time. How the victim was killed. Well, how was the detective killed? How was he killed? Now that's the interesting part. It was what we in the force call stabbing with a knife. The knife? That's exactly the same as Detective Goodman. That's the spirit. We're cooking now. But you know, that's not the only thing that was exactly the same. What do you mean? There were more similarities between the two cases than the cause of death. It seems like I'm going to have to press this a bit harder. Okay. So, press this again, is it? Yep. Let's try this then. So when did the murder at the police department occur? Now that's a sharp question, right? Oh, very sharp. Well, my boy, you're gonna love this. The time of the crime, 5:15. Okay. Do we now press on this? 5:15. Okay, so that's all the same. Do we now maybe get to press on the last point because we've uncovered that? What are you wanting me to press further on, right? This knife was stolen. Day of the murder. That's all as was. Mm-hmm. It's all as was. Unless I can go back, ask that same question, and now we get a bit more info. Victim was killed. So that's all as it was. But what am I pressing? Like, I feel like we've determined that these are linked. Alright, maybe having set all that, got all that said now? Can we present this? Probably not. No, the music just kept going. I shouldn't have done that one because that was me trying it again. Oh well. I'm at a loss. I don't know what I'm missing. Something else on the knife. No. Okay. Yep. Okay. Important blood. But nothing else. Nothing gained from there. Or maybe there is. Oh, yeah, slide. No, nothing there. Alright, so we've established that the note seemingly corresponds with this. But now what? Is my question. He said he needs to press on that, but I can't do any more pressing. And I need to learn more about the evidence room before I can take that question further. And that doesn't tell us anything about the evidence room. Feels like I'm missing something here. Let's try this one again. Wait a second. I've heard of that. The evidence room. Didn't he mention that in his testimony just now? Had I not already done this the first time when I wasn't able to progress with the evidence room? This knife was evidence in a case. It was stolen from the department's evidence room. Just one hand. Oh well. There's the connection between the two cases. You seem happy, Mr. Wright. Happy? Happy? We just got handed our ticket to go to town on this case. With the link between the two cases established, we finally have some leverage. Now we can get Gant to testify about the details. Hooray. So... press now? Chief, the defence's position is simply this. The connection between these two cases has already been proven. Heh, you don't say. Well, out with it, Righto. What's your connection? Yes, out with it, Mr. Wright. The connection is a place mentioned in the testimony we just heard. The knife found in the lot was stolen from the police department's evidence room. Not to mention the victim had on him the case number on the knife's evidence tag. And we also know that the detective murdered at the police department was killed in that very same evidence room. Indeed. There do seem to be too many connections for it to be a coincidence. Well, you two make a good pair. It took my men 2 days to find out what you did to us right here. Chief, I request that you release your information on the victim at the police department. See, that's the tricky part. It hasn't been announced yet and all. Can we get the information? Unofficially? Sure, why not? It's unofficial after all. What? Really? Who would have guessed? I'll cooperate, but I can't reveal the name of the victim at the department, okay? If you're going to tell us a little, why not tell us everything? Well, case information is sticky stuff. You have to do everything properly. Oh well, I guess I might as well try to get what I can out of him. Alright. Try the division. Okay, well, what division was the victim stationed in? Oh, you want to know that, do you? Do you? Aha! Criminal Affairs, Division 1. The detectives responsible for homicide cases. Homicide? That would be the same division as Detective Gumshoe. Detective Goodman, who was killed in the underground parking lot, was homicide too. It's almost like a serial killer was after homicide detectives. Except this serial killing happened simultaneously, scientifically speaking. Well, I sure hope Detective Gumshoe isn't next on the list. 2 detectives were killed at 5:15, one at the prosecutor's office and one at the police department. That can't be a coincidence. No, we've established it's not. Alright, so done all that, done all that. Alright, so we just have to find the right question here. ID number. Okay, how about you tell me the victim's ID number? Sure, why not? It's not like you'll be able to tell who it is from that. Of course not. You won't tell me their name after all. We keep a tight lid on ID numbers, so don't go getting your hopes up. The number is... all these dramatic pauses. 5842189. Well, that's quite long. And we have to remember these. It drives me nuts. 8, 2... I can't do it! You didn't even get the first number right. Gamble. Well, Mr. Wright, does this tell you anything? The ID number of the victim at the police department, 5842189. This tells me something. I don't know what yet, but I'll follow the thread. Actually, it does, Your Honor. It does. I think. Meaning... it has to be what I think it is. But what does this mean? Well, let's hear what the defense has to say. You say the ID number of the detective who was murdered at the police department tells you something. What does it tell you? Right, wait, what is Goodman's? 5842189. It's Goodman. Witness! What is it, Mr. Wright? You're grinning like a schoolgirl on prom night. No, it's just I got confused. And this is news? Huh? Just come out with both guns blazing, like you always do. The police department, the prosecutor's office. 2 places, 2 detectives murdered at one time. Actually, I happen to have a police ID number here. Oh ho! Is it yours? No, Your Honor. I'm a defense attorney, remember? This is the ID number of our victim, Detective Goodman. Shame on you, Righto. Personnel IDs are top secret. Detective Goodman's ID number is 5842189. And this means what exactly? Huh? Wait, that ID number we heard from the chief earlier. That started with 82. I forgot it. Didn't you get the first number right again? The number the chief of police gave us was 5842189. Wait a second, right. What does this mean? That's what I want to know. The 2 ID numbers are identical. In other words, the detective killed in the police department's evidence room was Bruce Goodman. What does our witness think about that? Oh, ho, ho, ho! Sharp as a tack, Righto. Sharp as a tack. But wait, Detective Goodman is our victim. Wait, your victim? The judge did it. No, he was killed at 5:15 in the underground parking lot. Yet, a Detective Bruce Goodman was also killed at the police department, in the evidence room, at the exact same time. That's impossible. So what we're saying is, the same person was killed at the same time, and in a completely different location? Shit. Order! 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 Chief, what does this mean? No. What I want to know is, why didn't I hear about this? Yes, it's top secret, fine, but I'm the prosecutor in charge of the case. Now, just wait a second, Worthy. No need to get all flustered. Your Honour, the police department has made a grave error in this case. Wait. I said wait. Or didn't you hear me? The oversight, the grave error, Mr. Edgeworth. They're yours. What? How? How dare? We informed you yesterday. I believe it was our Officer Meekins who brought you the news. Officer Meekins? Mr. Wright, where have we heard that name before? Wait. Aha! Yeah, it's this guy. Excuse me, but is Mr. Edgeworth anywhere on the premises? I'm here, sir, at the request of the chief, sir. I've got your report, sir. He never gave it to Edgeworth. You don't mean him? Oh, no, he did. Edgeworth. According to Meekins, you didn't accept the report. Hard to believe. But your officer, he told me. He said that report had nothing to do with the Lana Sky incident. Detective Bruce Goodman murdered in the police evidence room. Mr. Edgeworth, the victim's name is written right on the top of the report. Ah! Why didn't your officer tell me? Honestly, I'm not sure if that officer was capable of making the connection. He did seem challenged. In any case, this is a serious error. A gross negligence of duty on your part, Worthy. Kind of is, yeah. But, sir, you could have submitted that report this morning to the court as evidence. Then again with the big dramatic pauses. No such luck this time, Worthy. Or should I say, unworthy? What? Now, what was the second rule of evidence law, Well, Mr. Wright? Huh? Oh, well, it's, Rule 2. Unregistered evidence must present... Rule 2. Unregistered evidence... Jesus Christ. Rule 2. Unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case on trial. And how is this rule relevant? Normally, you submit a list of evidence to be used in court before the trial. This report wasn't on that list. So, what does this mean? I couldn't submit this evidence until a connection was proven in court. The connection was just proven by Wright over here. Good job, Wright, my boy. Huh? I was just doing my job. No. No! Edgeworth not taking it well. It seems we have come to the end of this trial. I know you're going through a tough time, Worthy, what with all these rumours. Oh, those rumours, you know. You were even in the defendant's chair just this past December. That he was. I apologise for this terrible lack of due diligence on my part. Mr. Edgeworth, please, just give me one day. I'll get to the bottom of what happened, if it's the last thing I do. You'd better get results this time, really. You have my profound apologies, sir. For Mr. Edgeworth. I don't think there's ever been an error this serious in the history of this court. Doesn't sound right. I will grant one further day as the prosecution has requested. Will that be sufficient, Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, Your Honour. Thank you. Whatever your punishment for this is, for your sake, I hope it's not decisive. Very well. Court is adjourned. To be continued. Right now. Again, I gather this is quite a long case, so probably we will not complete it tonight. I just realised I forgot to plug my laptop in. And we need to do that before it dies. There we go. Huzzah! Save progress? Absolutely. So, still been a few mistakes there, but not as bad as the first trial day, so that's good. February 23rd, 2:15 p.m. Wright & Co. Law Offices. Mr. Wright, so what's going on with the case anyway? I'm a little confused. Huh? Well, let's see. What's going on? The victim, Detective Bruce Goodman, was stabbed to death after 5 p.m. on the 21st. He died in the prosecutor's parking lot and the police department's evidence room. What's this and the evidence room part? The prosecutor's office and the police department are 30 minutes apart by car. Well, that's what we're going to find out. Or try to, at least. Alright, let's do it! Glad she's in good spirits, but I'm not sure she's going to be much help with this. Don't be so sure, Mr. Wright. Huh? Look, we're in this together, right? I'll prove that these thick-rimmed glasses of mine aren't just for show. Let's go! Science awaits us! Did she just read my mind? Because I'm pretty sure the blue bits are in, like, thought. February 23rd, Prosecutor's Office, underground parking lot. You know, I really don't think we should worry about the police department murder. There wasn't even a body found there. Who cares? Yeah, it was only our victim who was killed in their evidence room. No biggie. Besides, my sister would never do such a thing. I know it. That oil drum, was it empty? The oil drum kicked over by the chief prosecutor was brimming with water. Why are you remembering that specifically? Ah, this bit. My sister, erasing evidence at the crime scene? Never! Even though she says they don't get along, Emma really likes her sister. That's not it at all. It's just, we're both professionals at what we do, and I trust her. Big words for a high school student. Well, whether there was blood on the floor or not, the water in that oil drum washed it all away. Heh heh heh. Ignore the strength of my science at your own peril, Mr. Wright. Huh? What's that grin for? This situation calls for one thing, and that is luminol testing fluid. Luminol? Blood is sticky stuff, you know. You can't just wash it away with a little water. Well, that's for true. Even if you can't see it, it's still there. But wouldn't the police have already done those tests? Never trust anyone's eyes but your own, Mr. Wright. Just give it a try. Me? Why do I have to do it? I'm a minor. I can't even drink yet. We're testing bloodstains with this stuff, not drinking it. Unless... Here, look, I'll lend you these glasses. Huh? You had an extra pair of those things? Oh, Jesus. To test for a blood reaction, just spray the luminol on it. Like this, see? Press the A button to spray it on. Okay, let's find us some bloodstains. Aha! I appear to have found bloodstains. I can see your eyes shining behind those glasses. So, this is a bloodstain. It's so... Emma, you're shaking. It's just... This is my first time seeing real blood. No, we saw it on the shoe. Scientific investigation in action. Okay, well, we definitely know this is a bloodstain. But doesn't something strike you as odd? Scientifically speaking, of course. What's odd about this, scientifically? The bloodstain's location? Why, the bloodstain's location, of course. It's elementary. Huh? Why is that elementary? I mean, I would think that if there was a fight, you'd expect some bloodstains here. I suppose you might think that. Come on, Mr. Wright, we're all counting on you. Okay, so it's not the location of the blood, then maybe it's the amount of blood that's odd? I definitely think so. I mean, look at all the blood on the sole of the victim's shoe. It is pretty strange. If they fought here, there'd have to have been more blood than this. Hey, Mr. Wright. I'm gonna mark up the floor plans when we find a bloodstain, okay? Sure. See, I'm pretty handy to have around, right? Yeah, and this stuff's pretty handy too. I saved up my allowance to buy that. Luminol testing fluid received from one very proud-looking Emma Skye. We can't be sure that the police will reveal all their evidence in court. Sometimes they fail to mention evidence that doesn't fit with their view of the case. Then let's drag that hidden evidence out into the light of day. Yeah, feels like we're really investigating a crime now, doesn't it? Guess I should give this a spray on anything suspicious. Ha! Oh, shoot. I wonder how that fluid of yours would react to a nice deli box. Miss Starr! You only trust your own eyes, hmm? Not bad, you two. This day-old deli box is on the house. Sorry, it's just that kind of lead-in doesn't really get my mouth watering. We do. You certainly put me in a tight spot today. My apologies, Miss Starr, but... No, it's okay. It was my fault. Oh, we know. I witnessed everything from that security room right there. But I was afraid that wouldn't sound convincing enough, you see. I was wrong to think that. I'm sorry. Sorry? You lied on the witness stand. That's unforgivable. Little girl, don't forget what's important here. Even if the place I witnessed the events from was different, I still saw what I saw. I saw Chief Prosecutor Skye stab a man in cold blood, and that testimony still stands. I swear it on my honor as a detective. She stabbed Goodman. But you're not a detective anymore. I know this photograph has something important to tell us, but what? But first. So, you were a detective, weren't you, Miss Starr? Yes, it was a long time ago. Well, 2 years ago. No matter how hardened the criminal when they faced me, they coughed it up. Coughed it up? They confessed. They babbled like babies. You know, I may seem like a demon sometimes, but I can be an angel too. I wouldn't doubt it. Every day I drag the dirt out of the mouths of suspect after suspect. And before long they called me... What did they call you? The cough-up queen. Oh, and here I thought someone had gotten food poisoning from your lunches. And you were let go, fired? I felt that I had found my dream job when I became an investigator. And if these prim and proper prosecutors hadn't let me go, I'd still be one today. It's all because of that case. The SL9 incident. SL9? Wait, she doesn't mean... So, can I present you with the knife? What do you think about this? The SL9 incident. It's written on that knife. And on that note. Goodman. Goodman was the head detective on that case, you know. Really? I mean, that makes sense. That knife was evidence from that case. The murder weapon. It was due for transferal the very day that Goodman was killed. Transferal, even. As I suspected. SL9 isn't over. Not yet. Do you think you could tell us more about the SL9 incident? Apparently not. What if I know you mentioned it, but what if I present you this? Okay, so yeah, let's see. It's weird that it ends on me asking a question. What if I present you with his ID? I had one of those up until 2 years ago. Back when you were the cough-up queen, right? We found this ID card here in this parking lot. Well, there's no mistaking that. It's definitely Goodman's. But it's the same ID as the man who was killed at the police department. That's impossible. I wish I could be so sure. Okay, so that's all we get from that. Go on, take a look at this knife. A body was set with Edgeworth's knife stuck in it was found in Edgeworth's car. I think he owes me his gratitude. Gratitude? Why, if I hadn't witnessed the crime, Mr. Edgeworth would have been the suspect. I wonder. Still, it's strange. Why didn't our chief prosecutor have her own murder weapon ready? Well, I might as well go through all these. It seems like we're getting stuff out of all these. You take a look at this. You! Yes? Okay, this is the usual. She doesn't have anything to say about that particular bit of evidence. Talk about the tea. Could you take a look at this? No, that's the same thing. Okay. I feel like there's probably nothing else then. See if she knows anything about this. No, okay. Perhaps at a later date she will tell us more about SL9. Alright, what if we examine? This rope, is it? Yep, they laid it in the outline of the victim's body. So wait, the victim must have died when the killer closed the trunk on him. Got to be the only person I know that would come to that conclusion. I think we've had all these before, but it's fine. That's where we find that note. 221 SL9. The SL9 incident. A case that was due for transferal the day of the murder. And the detective in charge of the case was the victim. I wonder what kind of case this SL9 incident thing was. It's kind of hard to guess just knowing the case number. Perhaps now with that bit of information we can talk to Cough Up. That's about as red as a sports car can get. Yep, it's pretty red alright. Body was found in Edgeworth's car truck. And the lock on the trunk was broken too. So the question is, why did Miss Sky chose his car? That wasn't good grammar. So, what model car is it? I think it was called a sedan or a coupe, something like that. Those are car types, Mr. Wright, not models. You're a guy, aren't you, Mr. Wright? You're supposed to know these things. Maybe it is about time I got my driver's license. Nope, still can't ask you about it. So how do I go back to this? Oh, hello. Oh, it's just your name. Someone used a marker to write their name on this. Emma Sky. Don't tell me you bring this with you everywhere you go. Well, you never know where something might go down. Just what kind of a world do you think we live in? Probably not unjustified. The barrel. So this is the famous oil drum. Well, no time like the present. I'll try to kick it over myself. Hi-ya! That's okay, don't cry. That Lana Sky must be one strong woman. Sure. A block. This area is reserved for prosecutors. Defense attorneys are relegated to B block. I dream of the day when I'll be able to park my car here. I'll go over to B block to buy my hamburgers from you, Mr. Wright. I'm not planning on giving up my job that soon. Okay, anything else? B block is through there. That's her visitors park. So Miss Stark climbed over this fence. It seems so, yeah. That fence is 9 feet high at least. Well, no time like the present. I think I'll give it a little try. Eek! It's okay. Don't. I didn't see what we said there after. Oh well. Anything else? Ladder. Aha! A ladder. That's a step ladder. What's the difference in scientific terms, please? Scientific, huh? Look at the basic nature of the thing, Mr. Wright. This all seems so horribly familiar somehow. Then the telephone. Here, a phone. Let's see if it works. Hey, don't stop. Don't touch stuff we don't need to be touching. I can't hear anything. My ears. No, my ears. Maybe it's due to the barometric pressure. What is she babbling about? Hey, what did you just say? See, you can hear just fine. The phone's broken. Indeed. Look, a door. This must mean something. I'm not sure that doors mean anything. No, it won't open. A mysterious lock. I fail to see what's mysterious about it. Mr. Wright, you need to learn to enjoy life more. Let's finish our investigation first, shall we? Okay, and then the big door. This is where the cars leave the lot. The arrow on the ground makes it look more like an entrance. What are you talking about? It's plainly an exit. Well, maybe it's both. Kind of a dual purpose. Aha, the theory of relativity. What? I've got to write this down. Hey, Mr. Wright. Maybe you know, was Mr. Relativity, was Mr. Relativity German or was he British? Mr. Relativity. Are you sure that was his name? Okay, so that now seems like it's everything. Kind of thought we were going to be doing more spritzing. Not from you. I don't imagine there's anything else. Try the photo. If you think about it, I could have taken that picture from the guard room. But even I get flustered sometimes. So you went straight to the scene of the crime? I rushed towards the chain link fence in an effort to stop the murder. That's when I took this photo, yes. In other words, 5 minutes after the crime. Those 5 minutes are the whole problem. The hole in my testimony, as it were. The 5 minutes weren't the problem, Miss Starr. You lying was the problem. Listen, little girl. I've had my testimony disregarded before. And I wasn't going to have it disregarded again. Just like that time. That time. Alright, can we now? Yes, there we go. That incident really opened up my eyes to the truth. We're nothing to them. Disposable. Disposable? To who? 2 years ago. It was the biggest case I'd ever handled. Oh, what a crew. Police and prosecutors were desperate for decisive evidence. So they didn't solve it. On the contrary, it was solved quite cleanly. The criminal was caught and executed. Executed? Yes, the criminal got what was coming to him. It doesn't get any cleaner than that. The only problem was, they never did find decisive evidence. Not a shred. What? But the criminal was executed, right? On the basis of evidence of a sort. Made up evidence. What? You mean they executed someone with fabricated evidence? The best part came several months after the trial. Every detective involved in the case was dealt with. Some were demoted to patrolmen, others found themselves out of a job. And you were one of those. Myself and one other person you know well. Wait, could it be? Exactly. Detective Jake Marshall. Oops, I mean Police Department Security Detail Officer Jake Marshall. Detective Marshall. As professional detectives, we investigated that case from every angle. We pointed at maps, we shouted. Gumshoe was there. No, that's Goodman, isn't it? Probably. Jake was particularly determined. And then, it was over, and he was demoted. However, he hasn't forgotten, and neither have I. You haven't forgotten SL9? There was another side to that case, a hidden side. That's what we're after now. And no one up in their fancy offices can stop us. Wait, Those lunches you sell. There's only one reason I come to sell lunches in this accursed office. I come here to meet old friends. Boyfriends that can help me investigate. Miss Starr's old boyfriends. How many does she have, anyway? Just when all the detectives on SL9 have disappeared, we find new evidence. There has to be a connection. So, rookie. What? It seems like you're serious about investigating this case. Yes. Then you should take this. A Salisbury steak lunch? That'd be nice. I know a certain guy who might help you if you tempt him with this treat. Steak lunch received from Miss Starr. Miss Starr? Officer Marshall, is he, are you his... Are you going out? Why do you want to know? I was just wondering what happened to him. A long time ago, when he was helping my sister do cases, he was so nice. He got along so well with my sister, it made me jealous. And he was nice to me too, back then. This would be when Officer Marshall was a detective. But now he's so cold. Jake and I are merely cooperating on this investigation. We're putting the past to rest, as it were. Nothing more than that. I see. Thank you. Officer Jake Marshall. Alright. To see if there's anybody in the detention center. Looks like Miss Skye is in questioning. I hope the detectives aren't yelling at her. How did you kill him in two places at the same time? Can you imagine? How's she supposed to answer that? Wait a second. Didn't Mr. Gant say they'd arrested a suspect in the police department murder? Let's come back later. Okay. Criminal affairs. Wow, everyone looks deadly serious here. Well, there was a vicious murder of a detective down at the police department. Yes, but the same detective was also killed at the same time in the prosecutor's lot. Ugh, makes my head hurt. Well, first things first. Let's go check out the police department crime scene. Yes, you sound dead set on investigating. But don't mess up or we could wind up dead. I doubt anyone wants more mysteries or dead bodies around here right now. But it doesn't look like anyone's going to help us much either. Alright, so can I now move to... No? These are the detectives' desks. There are computers and files in each one. Funny, they're a lot tidier than I'd expect. I guess the detectives don't spend a lot of time at their desks. That must be the chief of detectives. He's glued to his computer screen. What? Detective killed in the evidence room? Tell no one outside the police department? No! I told that old lady at the restaurant everything. Someone's getting a demotion. So this is the police mascot, is it? The Blue Badger, the future star of the police force. The design's a little changed from the one outside. Ah, well, the dancing Blue Badger, TM, is still under development, you see. You have it trademarked? Absolutely, it's cutting-edge stuff. Very now. I showed this doll here to my daughter and she burst into tears. Don't show her the moving mock-up outside then, you'll give her nightmares. Indeed. A poster of a female police officer. Wait, no, that's the latest Babes in Uniform calendar. My bad. What of you, sir? That must be one of the detectives. He's mumbling something to himself. I know, the killer used dry ice. If you put it between the latch and the door, the room could be sealed shut. This is good. I'll win a writer's award for sure. He's not writing a report, he's writing a novel. Good for him. Good for him. And that appears to be it. Okay, to the police department entrance. It's even busier here today than it was yesterday. The detectives are running around so fast they're blurring. I suppose it makes sense. A detective did get killed here after all. So, the evidence room, the scene of the crime. According to the pamphlet we got at the front desk, here it is. She's like a kid at an amusement park. Ooh, a real crime scene. Let's go take a look. I mean, we've been at one. Let's take a look at the Blue Badger again. The Blue Badger is still writhing around today. Hell yeah, look at him go. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt and say he's dancing. Speaking of dancing, the whole police department has been dancing around like crazy since yesterday. Can I take out his batteries? I just can't help but feel he's going to do something naughty. Ooh. And then we've got Columbo over here. Look at that patrol. Look at that. Look, that patrolman is saluting that other guy. He must be a detective. You idiot! What were you thinking? Where's your head? Sir, it's right here, sir. I guess he wasn't saluting. He was showing the detective where his head was. They make a good pair. Sure. Mr. Wright, do you know why patrol cars are painted black and white? No idea. Why? Well, I think they're designed after a panda. Panda? Not that I have scientific proof. It's just a theory. Do you mind me asking how you came up with that theory? It was when I was on a school trip. I saw a patrol car and it came to me. We had just been at the zoo, see? What about zebras? Or did they not have those at your zoo? That's a good point. The banner here is announcing the crime-fighting campaign. Nice slogan. I wonder if they'll be selling fingerprinting sets. I don't think it's that kind of campaign. What family wouldn't want a set at home? It's good for finding out who snuck into the cookie jar. I think most families can figure that out without the extra help. Wouldn't hurt though. The usual wanted posters are hanging up on the bulletin board here. Do you know this face? If you do, dial 911. You know, Mr. Wright, I've always thought it was kind of funny. I've never seen anyone who looked like the people in these posters. They hardly even look human. She has a point. And finally. The detectives in there look pretty busy. Just imagine, right now, behind those doors, a police drama in action. Somehow the thought fails to excite me. Alright. Ooh, this is nice. February 23rd. Evidence room. Entrance. Guard station. What's with the decor in this place? It's very eccentric. According to the pamphlet, this is the guard station for the evidence room. So beyond that door is the evidence room. The scene of the crime. It sure seems that way. Oh! Oh! What's wrong? It's those cacti. They're so prickly, so imposing. It's hard to think straight. If you can't handle the cacti, stay out of the desert. What I want to know is, if this is a guard station, where's the guard? I have a feeling I know who he is already. Yeah, I mean, it's fairly obvious. Looks like there's a video feed from the evidence room here. There's a light blinking below the monitor. It says, recording. I bet we could use this computer to check on who went in and out of there. Probably. There's a security guard uniform hanging here. It looks more like a costume than a uniform, honestly. A leather jacket, leather pants, a leather... What was that called again? A punchy? A paunchy? A pinchy? I know, a poochie! Wait, maybe that wasn't it. It's a poncho, but I think I'll keep that information to myself for the time being. Yipes, these sure are prickly. They must be the real deal. I would think just one big one would be sufficient. These cacti are a lot like my sister, actually. How so? Encased in a cold, rigid shell with spines pointing in every direction. Just like her. Not so sure I see the resemblance. It's more an attitude thing than a physical similarity. Yeah, that makes sense. This swinging door makes the place look like some kind of saloon. But look, it's nailed shut. You can't get in that way. Of course not. If you went in through here, the cactus would fall over. Ouch. I'd say it'd be more of a yeah myself. Sure. And is that it? That appears to be it, except for the door to the evidence room. The evidence room is beyond that door. Let's just walk in. It won't open. You thought it'd be open. I think we need someone's permission to go in there first. Okay, so where is Mr. Cowboy? And obviously we have to give him the Salisbury steak. Can I examine the name badge? Nope. Okay. Police department entrance. Ooh. New business here. This place is charged with frantic energy, as always. Please! Huh? Wasn't that? One steak lunch, please! Oh, it's you. Detective Gumshoe. Now's no time for chit-chat, pal. I'm a busy man. What I really need is a steak lunch from Lunchland. Oh, I've got you covered. Oh, you mean one of these? Actually, it's not for sale. I think I just heard the sound of his heart breaking. Now's no time for despair. We've caught our criminal. Now we just need evidence. The criminal... The criminal? You mean... You heard about the stabbing in the police department evidence room, right, pal? On the same day that a detective was killed in the prosecutor's parking lot, another detective was killed at the police department. Yes. And the perpetrator. Do you have a suspect? Well, there was a suspect. Just arrested him, in fact. It's the biggest scandal to hit the station in ages. Everything's topsy-turvy. But Detective Gumshoe, who was it? Listen, pal, all I know is I need me a steak lunch pronto. Standing around here talking isn't going to fill my belly. Wait, don't leave. If you want to know more, head on down to the detention center, pal. Questioning should be over, so I figure he's down there having a good cry. Later. Kind of figured. Maybe that wasn't who it was for. He ran off to the evidence room. Well, this investigation is off to a running start. So, can I go there now? Yeah. Okay, fair enough. So back to the police department entrance. And then if I go to the offices. And then we get the detention center. Super. Still, I do feel better about things. A little. I mean, they caught the person who stabbed Detective Goodman, didn't they? Yeah, I guess they did. Best to not go too far down that road right now. Things will just get confusing. Ween! What was that? Sir, that's what I'm saying. Me, a perpetrator? I'd say I was the perpetrated against, sir. That's what I'd say. No. Hi. Greetings, sir. Wait, I know who you are. Excuse me, but is Mr. Edgeworth anywhere on the premises? I'm here, sir, at the request of the chief, sir. I've got your report, sir. Officer Meekins. So you're a guard here at the detention center? No, sir, I'm not, sir. I'm a little I'm a little lost patrolman, like a little lost lamb, sir. Oh, I get it. You're here to deliver a report. No, sir, how should I say this? Wait, he isn't. Is he? You? Officer Meekins? You didn't, did you? Perpetrator Officer Meekins reporting, sir. What? What? Now this is an unexpected turn of events. Day of the crime. Sir, I'm a patrolman with general affairs, sir. Sir! Oh, I can hear you fine, Officer Meekins. I had some business that day, sir, and so I went to the evidence room, sir. The guard station in front of the room was empty, sir. So, normally there's a guard at the evidence room. That's right, sir, because evidence is kept in the evidence room, sir. Now, the security officer was none other than Officer Marshall. Marshall? Then, sir, I happened to glance at the security room monitor. That's when I saw him, sir. A suspicious person in the evidence room. A suspicious person, sir. A suspicious person. Ow! What the heck is this guy doing? So what happened then? After that, sir, everything went white. I saw red, I blacked out. And when I came to, I was here, in the detention center. How long were you out? Days? Might I ask, what happened to your hand? Sir, there was no one to bandage me, sir. So I did what I could to wrap it up, sir. A bandage on his hand. Just like Miss Skye. Yet another similarity between this case and the one at the prosecutor's office. First things first, tell us how you hurt your hand. Yeah, well, except first things first. About your hand, did that happen during the course of the crime? Well, you see, sir, don't you think you should just confess? But sir, but there was nothing I could do. Nothing you could do. Sir, to tell the truth, sir, when it happened, when the detective pointed that knife at me, I just hollered, sir. And the next thing I knew, I was unconscious. The next thing you knew, you were... Then, when I opened my eyes, I was alone in the evidence room, sir. All alone. Alone because Detective Goodman had disappeared. What? Then, when I looked down, I was gushing blood from my hand, sir. Oh, the shock. Oh, the sorrow, sir. Can you imagine how I felt? The victim's body disappeared? That's some story. Indeed, the victim. I don't mean to pry, but you are the perpetrator, correct? You killed Detective Bruce Goodman in the evidence room, right? Sir, please don't look at me with those sad puppy dog eyes, sir. If you have to label me as as perpetrator or victim, sir, then label me victim. I would, but you happen to be in detention, and alive and well at that. Ah, yes, well, that's true, sir. I suppose you could say that. Did you know the victim, Detective Goodman? Well, sir, if I had to label him as a stranger or a total stranger, then I'd say he leans heavily on the total stranger side. So you didn't know him. Sir, I work in a tiny department devoid of light or other creature comforts. I don't know any detectives. So if he was a total stranger, why did you stab him? Sir, I had no intention of killing him, sir. None. Nor do I have any recollection of killing him, sir. At least someone around here is more confused than I am. Alright. Let's go back to the parking lot, perhaps? No. High Prosecutor's office? Aha. Well, this place is as classy today as it was yesterday, and I'm sure it'll still be just as classy tomorrow, Emma. Incidentally, Edgeworth's not here. I'm sure he's off doing important investigations. I hope that's what he's doing. Excuse me? I guess we'll have to come back. Okay. Nothing there. Department entrance. No. Guard station. No. Criminal affairs. No. Detention center. Can we present you with something? Probably not the lunch. Officer Meekins, could you take a look at this? I'm sorry, sir. Really sorry, but I have no idea what that is. Maybe you should ask Mr. Edgeworth, sir. He's passing the buck, Mr. Wright. It takes a special kind of man to pass the buck to Edgeworth. Alright. Officer Meekins, this is for you. I'm scared of knives, sir. It's okay, I just wanted you to take a look at it. That's it, sir. Last night, sir. That's the one. I was an apple, sir. In my dream, sir. And I was being peeled. On second thought, you don't have to look at the knife. He's overreacting to the knife, but I guess he's been through a lot. Alright, what would be this? Okay, so now... what would be this? Do you think you could take a look at this? Hey! That's it, sir! That's it! That's it! That's what? My head was a blank until this very moment. But sir, no, I remember. I remember, sir. You mean you remember what happened? Correct! That card! That card was the cause of it all. This ID card. Exactly, sir. That's exactly it. Nothing could be more exact, sir. Nothing! I'd better pry into this one a little deeper. So, talk. Crime details. Can you tell me what it is you do remember? Well, sir, you might say I'm a lost little patrolman. A lost little lamb, if you will. I didn't know Mr. Detective Goodman who was in the evidence room. And that's why you thought he looked suspicious. Sir, I entered the evidence room and asked the man to show me his ID card. Well, that sounds pretty much by the book so far. That's right, sir. That's what I've been trying to tell you. So you asked Detective Goodman to show his ID card. What did he do? That's the thing. Suddenly he pointed a knife at me. What? Sir, I assure you I was as flustered as you are right now. So I whooped and leapt at him. Detective Goodman pointed the knife at him. Do unto others before they do unto you. My own father's words, sir. What happened then? Well, my eyes, sir. Everything went white. When I awoke, I was here. Right. Reason for arrest. So, Officer Meekins, why is it that they arrested you? Why was it that they arrested you? What do you mean, Emma? Let's look at what we know. Now, Officer Meekins didn't know Detective Goodman, and the victim, whom he met at the scene of the crime, didn't show his ID card. In other words, we have no way of knowing if the victim was really the victim. That's a good point. And if this body just disappeared from the evidence room, we don't even know if anyone actually died. That's it, sir. That's what I wanted to say. That is, I did say something along those lines. But you still ended up here. They told me that it had to be him, sir. On that day, at that time. Detective Goodman was definitely in the evidence room. That's what they said. But you don't remember the events clearly. No, but the videotape is quite clear. Huh? Videotape? From the security camera. The crime, my crime, the crime I swore to stamp out. It's there. It's me. It's on tape. Huh. And you waited until now to tell us this. I'm sorry, really sorry, sir. I'll hand over my badge. I don't deserve it. No thanks, I have my own. Well, I guess we'd better go check out the crime scene. Alright. Move to... Is it criminal affairs? Oh. Hey, Mr. Wright. Look who's standing at the Chief of Detectives desk. It's Police Chief Gant. Ah. And you're sure this is all, hmm? You know what it means if there is anything missing. Sir, I'm sure it's most likely totally perfect. We checked all of his drawers. Lockers, garbage cans, bags, coat pockets, hats. Under his seat cushion, behind his computer monitor, inside his personal coffee machine. I see. Well, if anything does turn up, you call me right away, deal? Yes, sir. We'll scour the place again, sir. The Chief of Detectives looks a little flustered. Aha! Righto, my boy! How you been? Swim much? Ho-ho! Chief Grant! Gant, even. Reporting for duty, sir. Why are you saluting him, Mr. Wright? Edgeworth. Is Edgeworth going to be okay? Oh, were they? Oh, you know, they're doing a little inquiry committee with him. Yeah. Sounds like an inquisition. Yeah, well, they've had no end of trouble with the boy since last year. You mean the incident on Gord Lake? It doesn't look good having a top prosecutor sit in the defendant's seat, does it? And you got someone else found guilty in that case, right, righto? Yeah, another prosecutor. Von Karma. A legend he was, undefeated in his 40-year career. But in court you fixed it so he was caught for forging evidence. Wait, I didn't do anything wrong. He did forge evidence. In any case, the prosecutor's office is in a bit of turmoil, you might say. Why, they'd do just about anything to restore their reputation. Now, depending on what that inquiry committee decides, it could be bad for Worthy. What? It's downright odd, I tell you. The detective getting killed on their turf too, I mean. There being the prosecutors, I assume. Scientifically speaking, it's impossible. Yes, but that's what the evidence is saying. Goodman was stabbed in 2 locations at the same time. That's what it says. What evidence is this? No, righto, I can't give away all our secrets just like that. And this in particular, well, it's a little sensitive, and I can't talk about it. Wasn't expecting much anyway. You know, one thing I hate most of all is hiding stuff. Secrets. Can't stand them. But, you know, it's a full-time job just keeping the Chief of Detectives trap shut. Ah, he was the one you were picking on earlier. Huh? You saw that? Whoops. I wonder what it was that he wanted the Chief of Detectives to do. Let's see if we can kind of discreetly ask him. Yeah, out of the way, please. Mr. Chief of Detectives? Ooh, sorry you had to see that. What exactly did the Chief of Police want you to do? Well, see over there. That's Goodman's desk. He wanted me to check it for anything that might be a clue. They took away every last piece of garbage in the trash can. So nothing belonging to Detective Goodman is still here? Of course not. Well, except for this. What? You kept something? Sure, why not? It's not important. You didn't even finish writing it. It's a lost item report, but it's only half complete. A lost item? Did Detective Goodman lose something? The date on it is February 21st. Better make a note of that just in case. Goodman's lost item report added to the court record. Half-written court document dated 2/21 can only be submitted to the Chief of Police. I should really get back to investigating the police department crime scene. Yes, that's sort of what I came here to do. So, police department entrance, guard station. So how do we do that? High Prosecutor's Office. Yep. Nothing here, okay. Police department entrance. Move. Is there something I've missed here? Fascinating. Permission editor. Actually, I was wondering if I could ask you a favor. Well, I never thought the day would come when Wright asked me for help. I was wondering if we could investigate the evidence room. Sir? No, Righto. Actually, I'm sorry. I don't need to investigate after all. Righto, please. Do I look like a selfish man? Huh? Heck, if anyone asked me, sir, can I borrow $50? I'd give them $50, no problem. So go ahead, investigate that room to your heart's content. Knock yourself out. Just goes to show, you never know until you ask. And for you, here, you can borrow this. Hey, this is a detective's ID card, isn't it? That's a special card for guests, so don't lose it. Yes, sir, it's an honor. You just run along and do your best now. Later, folks. And he's gone. Heh, looks pretty cool on my lapel, doesn't it? Just think, a real ID. You seem happy. Yes, sir, because, sir, we get to go into the evidence room now, sir. I think this place is a bad influence on the girl. So we go back to the entrance, and then guard station. And then, no, okay, back to the guard station. Can we now... Should be on that door, and we have the ID card from Chief Gant. Let's just walk in. It won't open. Aha! The card reader is turned off, see? What is that security guard thinking? Howdy, partners. Well, well, what's made my bambina's sky so grey? Officer Marshall! Why does it have to be him? What's that why does it have to be him look for? As you may have surmised, this here's my saloon. We're here to investigate the crime scene. Yeehaw! That card you got there on your chest. That's better than a sheriff's badge in these parts. Yeehaw? Well, what you standing there for? Get along, little dogies. The crime scene's awaiting. Beep. Looks like the card reader's on again. While we're here, I was wondering if we could ask you some questions. Sorry, cowboy, but I got no mind to tangle with you, hombres. You're busy then? Did I say that? I only said I didn't wish to speak with you. Actually, you said you had no mind to tangle with us hombres. And, well, what if I present him with a Salisbury steak? That smell. Ah, reminds me of Texas. So, Officer Marshall, you're from Texas? No, I just saw a special on television the other day. Is this from my baby? Yeah, Miss Starr. What's this? What? What's wrong? A filet steak lunch. I see. I see! I don't see. I wonder what it means. Steak lunch given to Officer Marshall. Alright, Bambina, you win. Ask anything, smart. Finally, it seems like he's willing to talk. Sweet. Guard station. Officer Marshall, you're in charge of security for the evidence room, right? You got good eyes, partner. It's an easy job, and I'm grateful for it. Actually, Officer Meekins at the detention center told us. Ah, that poor little doggy. Poor guy, I keep getting his name wrong and calling him Meekly. He told us something. He said that when the stabbing occurred, you weren't at your station. Well, maybe I shouldn't be telling you this, but since I got demoted from detective 2 years ago... Well, it might not look it, but I lost my fire for the job, you know. So, what were you doing around 5:15 when the murder took place? Well, I reckon I was galloping down the highway on the back of my steed, Zippy. Note, he was riding down the highway on his horse named Zippy. There's no need for people here anyhow. These newfangled machines do a bang-up job of keeping an eye on the place. You mean the security camera system? I don't take to machines much. Kind of like that stewed broccoli they sneak in next to your steak, you know. Sure. Marshall. She's you. Miss Starr told us something. She said that you were a detective until 2 years ago. It was always my dream to be a rawhide wrangler on the scene of the crime. That's all gone now, like a drinking hole in a prairie fire. You're still investigating the SL9 incident with Miss Starr, aren't you? That was my case. It's all solved on the record books, but it smells like a bad game of poker. I can't let it go. That's all there is to it. What kind of case was it, anyway? We've heard the name so many times, but no one tells us what actually happened. There are some things you're better off not knowing, Bambina. Anyway, that case is officially dead as of 2 days ago. 2 days ago. 2 days ago. The day of our case. That's right. The evidence transferals. Edgeworth was talking about the transferals too. Security system. I know what maybe 2 of the machines in here do. Only 2 of them? There must be a dozen. Like I said, Bambina, me and machines, well, I like them about as much as I like stewed cauliflower with my steaks. The easiest ones to understand are these here security cameras. Those are the ones that Officer Meekins mentioned. If nothing happens, the tapes are automatically erased every few hours. And Officer Meekins and Detective Goodman, are they on one of those tapes? I reckon they might be. You're the security guard and you reckon? One more thing. When you go into the evidence room, you need an ID card. Thus the card reader by the door. The card reader leaves a record of every ID card that passes through. So, a bunch of 7s. So, okay, so Goodman's ID is there. So this is the ID card record. Hey, I've seen that somewhere before. Sorry, Bambina, I can't show you more than that. Huh? I haven't heard whether this is related to the case yet. Mr. Wright, I saw a number on that record just now. I've seen that number before. Yeah, it's Goodman's. Maybe there's some way I can prove that that record is tied to the stabbing. But first, transfer. Sorry, but could you explain this whole transferal thing is about? We keep only evidence from solved cases in this room. They're kept here under the presiding detective's supervision for 2 years, so we can reinvestigate them if it turns out there was a mistake, see? So what happens to the evidence after 2 years? It goes to sleep forever in the underground vault at the county sheriff's department. That's what we call transferal. We do it every February. Yeah. I see now. Transferal is like a funeral for old cases. 2 years after a case is solved, it's closed forever. Dead. Never to be reopened again. Never to be reinvestigated. And that happened to SL9 2 days ago. Alright, so we need to show him something that shows that number is important. Perhaps. See this? This is the victim's ID card. Ah, the one that was on the ground in the parking lot. The number on this is 5842189. Officer Marshall, show us that ID card record again. Wouldn't you know it? Look, the 4th number. It's a perfect match. It was used at 5:14, right before the stabbing. What's more, there's only one of them cards in the world. So when the incident occurred, Detective Goodman was in the evidence room. But wait, what did Officer Meekins say? Sir, I entered the evidence room and asked the man to display his ID card. So you asked Detective Goodman to show his ID card. What did he do? That's the thing. Suddenly he pointed a knife at me. If he had his ID card then, why would he have pointed a knife at Officer Meekins? Alright, compadre, you win. I guess I can give you this ID card record. ID card record added to the court record. I've got an idea. Maybe I should show this list to other people with IDs here. Yeah, good to know. So that is you. So now we can move to the evidence room. February 23rd, evidence room, sector 3. It's quiet. The investigation must be over here. So this is the evidence room. It really is kind of like a graveyard. Graveyards are supposed to have grass and trees. This feels more like a morgue. Nice try, Mr. Wright. You can't scare me. Ah, come shoot. Eek! Whoa! Did you just attack Gumshoe? Sorry, I thought you were a ghost. I wouldn't recommend going around smacking ghosts on the head, pal. So, is it true what I heard? Righto, please. Do I look like a selfish man? Heck, if anyone asked me, sir, can I borrow $50? I'd give them $50, no problem. So go ahead, investigate that room to your heart's desire. Knock yourself out. Or Gumshoe, apparently. Yeah, it's true. So, Chief of Police Gant. Will loan anyone $50? Even me? Oh, so that's what you were talking about. Actually, I was put in charge of the investigation for today. Just for today. Boss for a day. But guess what? You got permission from the chief, so now you're boss for a day. Gee, thanks. First of all, you'll want to have this. Evidence room floor plans added to the court record. Scene of the stabbing of a detective at the PD. Alright. Well, since they mentioned it, and I imagine he has one. No, not that, the record, sorry. Message card. It was the record, is what I meant to show. If you take a look at this, this is the ID card record of the people who came in here on the day of the stabbing. Ah, I heard the rumours. So it was Goodman who came in here at the time of the murder. Whoa! What is it? That second number. It's not your ID number, is it, Detective Gumshoe? Mr. Edgeworth. What? The second number on this list belongs to Mr. Edgeworth. What? What? ID card record updated in the court record. Fascinating. Why would Edgeworth have come to the evidence room? Good question. Boss for a day. So, Detective Gumshoe, you're boss for the day. That's right. It's an honour. After all, the murder took place right here in the police department. But if you're boss, why are you all alone? Where are your underlings? They're using yesterday's findings to prepare for tomorrow's trial. In other words, you got kicked out of the investigation again. I'm adamant, though. I'm going to take control and put this case to rest. In my own evidence locker, pal. You have a locker in here too, Detective Gumshoe? Aha, of course. I am a detective after all. They gave me a locker that only I can open, pal. Only you can open. Edgeworth. I'll always believe in Mr. Edgeworth, no matter what happens. So, Mr. Edgeworth is with the inquiry committee now, right? Yeah. They're trying to figure out who's responsible for the mess up in court today. I see. I guess this is what you call fate. Mr. Edgeworth just can't get away from that case. That case? Yeah, that case. The SL9 incident, of course. That was the beginning of the end for Mr. Edgeworth. Maybe we can get him to tell us more about the case. Evidence lockers. So I wonder if we still had the stake, would we be able to get more out of Gumshoe? This place is more high-tech than you might think. Every locker is fixed so that only one detective can open it. Using their ID card? Well, that's the thing, pal. ID cards can be lost. Why, I'm on my third card since entering the force already. That sounds like a lot. Yeah, but even I can't lose my own right hand. Right hand? Oh, you mean your fingerprint? Exactly, pal. The lock for each locker is coded with a fingerprint. Ah, a beep. So the only locker we can open is our own. Funny, they look like normal lockers. These are the latest model. There's a trick to the handles, see? The handles? On the other side of the handle is a sensor, and if the wrong person touches it, bzah, you get a shock? If that's what happened, my hand would be black and smoking every day. In any case, the locks aren't that obvious. There are even some people in the force that don't know about the fingerprint locks. Evidence locker added to the court record. Only the assigned detective's prints can unlock it. Indicator lamp lights up when it's open. Alright. So I guess we should just have a wee poke around. Wow! Look at this big pile of junk in the corner. That looks like a car door. There's a pair of handcuffs attached to the frame. Maybe the guy they caught was some sort of escape artist and he got away. Hey, that's one of those human profiles for range testing. He's been shot square in the forehead. Better him than us. There's something sticking out of here. It looks like a shirt. I guess it must be evidence for some case. I wonder if Detective Gumshoe put this here. There you go, pal, making me out to be some kind of slob. I'm not responsible for the evidence here. That said, I bet that evidence locker was opened recently. How do you know? If you leave things hanging out like that, the evidence gets dirty or ripped. The guard checks on that kind of stuff and notifies the detective responsible. How many times have I had him breathing down my neck about some silly evidence? Sounds like Detective Gumshoe leaves evidence hanging out a lot too. I bet he doesn't tuck in his shirt under that trench coat either. If you're going to talk behind someone's back, don't do it right in front of them, pal. Yeah, don't be a dick to Gumshoe. We like Gumshoe. This place is stuffed with evidence. Stuffed with dreams. I'm not so sure about the dreams. It won't open. Did you really think it would? Hey, pal, our security is high-tech around here. And then, okay, so that just indicates all of those... What's this? Some sort of bulky equipment is gathering dust here. What a sorry-looking fishing pole that is. Ah, that's my personal pole. I never did get around to using it. Wait, I've seen that sucker before. Right, pal, that's that metal detector. The one that led to the solving of that case out in Gord Lake, remember? Oh, right. Wow, that feels like it was ages ago. And, I don't think I've seen this one before. Oh, that's a bug sweeper. I'm sure it'll come in handy in solving some case sooner or later. That cheap looking bugs? You can't judge a person or a machine by their cover. You gotta look at their heart. Indeed. Slide to the left. Or right, I guess. Well, that's suspicious. What's this? Blood? It's a little worn, but there's definitely a handprint here. It looks like someone tried to wipe it off. Mr. Wright, what if there are other bloodstains left in the room? We should use her testing fluid to check it out. Alright, we'll take a look around first. Wow, someone must have broken something big to make all these pieces. Detective Gumshoe, perhaps. Here you go, pal, making me out to be some kind of hooligan. That's apparently from The Case. The Case? The SL9 incident, pal. See the sticker on one of the pieces there? Another piece of SL9 evidence. Take a closer look. I wonder what shape these pieces were in before whatever it was broke. You want to try to put it back together? Ha! Good luck, pal. That's no job for amateurs. Why, I spent a good 3 hours on that before I had to give up. That's why I always carry around a tube of glue. Well, this piece looks like the bottom. Let's try putting the rest in place. A puzzle? It is a puzzle. Alright, let's see. Oh, it's rotating. I thought it was rotating the, Nope. Perhaps. I'm a genius. Okay. Is that you? It sure is. Alright, so... don't think it's you. Nope. This way? Nope. Okay. Nope. Okay. Nope. There it is. Ah, and there's blood on it. Alright, let's see. Nope. That's you. Nope. Nope. There it is. Hell yeah. So that must be that. Well, facing the wrong way, but yeah. Nope. Okay. There it is. What the fuck is this? Still a piece missing. Huh? Well, I think we did it, but some of the pieces are missing. Yeah, I got that far too in 2 minutes myself. The problem is finishing it. Were some pieces stolen? I bet they were missing to begin with. Still, it doesn't look like the most stable kind of jar. I kind of understand how it got broken. Unstable jar added to the court record. Jar pieced back together from fragments found at the crime scene. A piece is missing. Or pieces. You know, you can't be certain. Is that glove? Someone left a glove here, but only one. Detective Gumshoe, maybe. There you go, pal, making me out to be some kind of absent-minded detective. That's evidence from The Case, you know. You mean SL9. Does have a tag on it. Rubber glove added to the court record. Tagged evidence from the SL9 incident. An extremely thin rubber glove. Open locker, perchance. Look, this one's open, and the red indicator light above the door is lit. That locker is coated with Detective Goodman's fingerprint. Detective Goodman's locker. Are you sure it's okay to leave it open like that? Well, it'd be hard to get it open again if we closed it. That's true. It's empty. They must have taken the contents elsewhere. What is the saw and paint doing here? Since the dawn of time, true art has always been a war against oppression. True art? I notice that there's blue and yellow paint here. Perhaps we're witnessing the birthplace of the Blue Badger? Well, you might say this is my studio. Here, in the evidence room. Alright, so how do I proceed to use this? Like, how do I... Oh, there it is. Doy. Aha! I was about to say, that should light up, and it did. Just in case I missed something. Doesn't look like it. Why are some pieces missing? 2, doesn't seem a little unstable. No wonder it broke. I'll make sure to remember next time I make a jar. Do I need to be in spray mode? Okay, so doesn't seem like there's anything on this side. Oh, no. I found a thing. Why am I getting a reaction here? There's no reason for the murderer to touch this spot if he fled out the door. This just might be something significant. Hey, that's some pretty amazing stuff you got there, pal. What this? It's called luminol testing fluid. Where'd you get your hands on that? Huh? I'd like to get some too. I'll just borrow $50 from the chief. Where do you get this, Emma? I always buy it by mail order. Well, I'd better jot this down on the floor plans. I guess I hadn't sprayed enough. I mean, we already saw this one. Like, we saw this one without spraying. I knew it! This is someone's right handprint. What? What's the matter, detective? This locker. It's mine! It's yours? Please! You have to help me when they come to take me away. Promise you'll testify that I wouldn't harm a fly. You'll do that for me, won't you, pals? This is an important clue. I'll jot it down in the floor plans. I'm counting on you guys. Believe me, you can't trust the police. What? But you're a detective. Ah, there we go. And examine. That must have been one massive pool of blood. Never seen anything like it. I'm not a professional. What's your opinion, detective? Pale blue blood. Maybe Detective Goodman was actually an alien? This proves that something really happened in front of this locker. I'll make a note of it on the floor plans. Hey, if you didn't want my opinion, you shouldn't have asked. That's fair, I guess. Alright, speaking of which, nothing new with you. Guard station. Anything new with you? No. Police department entrance. Nothing new here. Let's try criminal affairs. Nothing new here. Detention center. Nothing new there. Alright. Other than parking lot. Nothing new here. High prosecutor's office. Nope. Right, where to? Probably something we missed in here. Oh, no, I know what we need to do. Car station. Present. Well, there's no point presenting him this. But we'll see. The sheriffs back in the Wild West didn't place much faith in evidence. But the only thing they trusted was their shooting hand. This is neither wild nor west here. Aha! But that and this are two different things entirely. I guess so. Huh? I'm lost. Looks like we need some evidence to get anywhere with this guy. Alright, well, let's just present him the shit we found. Glove. Okay, shares back. Ba, 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 ba. Sure. Vase. Okay. Sheriff's okay. Oh, I should look at this yet. Okay. Ah, no, this is the last thing we found before we, or after we talked to him, so nothing there. Okay. Let's maybe just present. I know Gumshoe gave us the floor plan, but we have since added to it. Allow me to say one thing, speaking as a detective. If I see a piece of evidence I know nothing about, I say nothing. Nothing! That's fine. You bet it's fine, pal. Okay. Glove? Okay, same thing. Oh yeah, I didn't do this. The tag says SL911. Or SL911. I guess it's another piece of evidence from that case. You know, I never did care for the word tag. It's confusing. Huh? What's so confusing about it? That? Do you know how many other words sound like it? Bag, gag, nag, lag, zag. Zag? Is that a word? Do you challenge me? What, are we playing a word game now? Okay. Anything else on our glove? No. Alright, let's see. Do we get anything off of you? Well, the blood. Hey, look! They're hard to make out, but there are some dark red stains here. Looks like blood. Do you think Detective Goodman's blood somehow got on this when he was stabbed? Not likely. This blood looks like it's been here for months, maybe longer. This jar was evidence in the SL9 incident. That might be when the blood got on it. Okay. Anything else? Oh, hello? Ooh, it's got a hole in it. Huh? This thing doesn't have a bottom. That's weird. I wonder which side is up. Better yet, what's the purpose of a bottomless jar? At least it doesn't collect dust inside, right? Yeah, I guess. Alright, so we haven't really learned anything from that. Can't do anything with that. We've looked at the floor plan, we've looked at that. So we still have... Oh, actually, if we present this to Meekins, he will probably tell us that those other two, the two that match, are probably him. And then that just leaves the one that's all sevens. I think this is the quickest way to get back to the old detention center. See, if I present him with the list. Officer Meekins, could you take a look at this? I'm sorry, sir, really sorry, but I have no idea what that is. Maybe you should ask Mr. Edgeworth, sir. Okay, off in the book. Okay. And that's probably just going to be his. He's probably just no. Alright. Don't know why we came back to the offices. Underground parking lot. She might know. Like, she hasn't worked there for a couple of years, but she might know. Look at this. Okay, and that's the standard not answering the question answer. Do you know anything about this? Nope. I thought she might, just because it's evidence from her case. Okay, no. She does not. Alright. Move. Is Edgeworth here? No. Where have we not been? Police department entrance. Criminal affairs. Okay, nothing new here. Did I miss something in the evidence room? Do we have anything else that we might show him? He really didn't care about anything. Maybe this? No, okay. Gumshoe know something about that half-filled in lost item report? Because he, by reputation, would probably have filled out a few himself. So, Chris Goodman, 221. Deal lost 221. ID. Started writing the ID. Okay. Okay, no. Intriguing. Let's see. Just take a quick look around, see if we missed anything here. It doesn't look like it. No. Alright, let's see. Just sort of backtrack. Nothing new with you. Talk-wise, don't think there's anything we can really present him with. Have we showed him the knife? No. Or if we did, it doesn't matter. Okay. Back to police department entrance. Parking lot. Nothing new with you. Present. Showed you all of this. Do you know anything about this? No. Let's try. I know you've been next to useless, but let's try presenting you with Goodman's item report. No. Edgeworth is still in his tribunal or whatever it was. The floor plan, perchance? Did I show you this? Well, it doesn't matter. Wait. Oh no, I can't examine him. No, just while we're here, guard visitors. Calls from the peanut gallery. Okay. Oh, so there was a wee bit of unique for it being Meekins. Off the camera for Officer Meekins. I think he knows he's being watched. Okay. Let's go back to the office here. Can I get anything out of you? What to do? Well, where should we begin? Oh, well, isn't it obvious? We should begin with that, you know, that thing. The mystery of the victim, I guess. How could one man, Detective Goodman, be killed in two places simultaneously? Oh, well, you see, we should go to the police department. The evidence room, was it? I'm not being very useful here, am I? No, you're being very helpful. Okay, so we've already done that. Any ideas for Mr. Edgeworth? I know you're going through a tough time, Worthy, what with all those rumours. You were even in the defendant's chair just this past December. Didn't like that. There was that business with him not reading that officer's report. Ah, about the killing at the police department, right? Ah, Jesus. Chief of Police was right about that. But I can't help but think. Someone at the police department doesn't like Edgeworth. Alright. Police department entrance. Is there anything new with you? No, there is not. How many fingers do you see? I'm sorry, I don't know. Well, that's 20 for the left, but nowhere near that for the right. Get glasses, officer. Salute, it was an eye test. They make a good pair. Okay. I guess they have a different interaction every time you come back here. Criminal affairs? Nope. Wondering if one of these was the actual Goodman's desk. Oh, you've got a new thing. Pardon? Must be one of the detectives. He's mumbling something to himself. I know. The killer used a cassette tape. What a crafty trick. That gunshot was a fake. It's good. No one will expect a cassette tape in this day and age. Alright, party writing the novel. Okay, so it changes, but it's always like the same gag. As it were. Entrance. Move. Garage station. No, not move. Examine. Look at this swinging door, just like a Wild West saloon. Ah, sorry partner, but we're closed for the day. Huh? You'll get along home now. I think Officer Marshall really wanted to be a Wild West bartender. I always wanted to say that. Okay. So if nothing else, we maybe get new stuff with him being here. You sure have a lot of monitors in here. There's 8 cameras in the evidence room and all. One for each section. Which monitor shows the section where the crime took place? Why do cattle sit before the rains come? It's not for man to know. Unless you're the security guard responsible. Yeah. Oh, was that? Nope, same thing. This character sure is prickly. It must be real. Best keep your distance from Billy there. You're liable to get hurt. Billy. The cactus is a name? Billy, you're wearing your cowboy hat in your hand. My rawhide cowskin 10-gallon hat. I just picked that up, but Billy took a fancy to it. Looks like it got stuck on the spines and he couldn't get it off. Sure. And then the stuff. A leather jacket, leather pants, and a leather... Those aren't pants. Those are chaps. And that's a poncho up there. Aha! A poncho! It sure looks cool, but the name is a little silly. Okay. That doesn't help me at all. What have I not done? Oh, yeah. The door. The evidence room is beyond that door. I turn on the card reader. Go have yourself a ball, partners. And I have the ID card. A real ID card. Let's get this investigation started already. Alright. I feel this. Yeah. Look, on the floor. It's a lasso. Looks like it's set up to trap something. I just wrote me a steer with this here lasso. What? It was a bellowing moo, pal. Moo. Detective Gumshoe, I presume. Oh, okay, we didn't really get anything of note from that. So, move to the evidence room. It's a big thing. It does sound like we need to present something to Marshall. But what? So we've done all of these, I believe. Probably has nothing to say about this. Sheriff's yada yada. Shoe? No. Looks like we need some evidence to get anywhere with this guy. I mean, we have evidence. What? Did we show the vase to what's-her-face? In the car park? Let's find out. We must have. Yeah. Or if we didn't, it doesn't matter. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Okay, well now that I know what I'm doing with this, maybe I did miss something with this. Or not. I feel like there's probably not any reason to do this anywhere else. Can I do this anywhere else? There's a question. Oh, I can. Aha! There's blood in Edgeworth's office. Damn, I'm glad I thought to try that. What? It looks like some blood has dripped down here. Judging by the amount, my guess is it's from a nosebleed. A nosebleed, Maybe in his wrath, Mr. Edgeworth slapped someone for their incompetence. Why does Detective Gumshoe's face come to mind? Alright. Well, I'm pretty sure that's it for Offices Edgeworth. We've done underground parking lot. Can't imagine there's anything out here. But there might be, because, you know, a murder did happen. And you were made in the murder room. But no. You guys got blood on you? No. Okay. On to criminal affairs. Oh no, I keep pressing the wrong button there, that's my fault. Guard station. Nope. Did it again. Aha! Well, that's certainly an image. Wow, we got a reaction. There's clearly blood around the spines here. This room's pretty messy. Someone must have tripped over something and planted their head right in these spines. I think that might be more painful than being murdered. Probably not. Alrighty, can we ask you about that? No. Okay. Where have we not tried? We've done on all of these places. Yeah, well, you never know. It's not likely, but... Nope, did it again. You know, I didn't imagine there would be blood here. Well, it was worth checking out. Detention center, let's give it a go. Yeah, look at that, I did the right thing. Perhaps now that we've found that, though, perhaps Edgeworth will now appear. No. Nope, did it again. Interesting, interesting, interesting. Definitely nothing else here. I think we can safely rule that out. Alright, not examine. Move. Underground parking lot. Nothing with you. Entrance. Geared. Anything with you? No. Evan's room. Nothing with you. Okay. What is missing? Just in case I missed some blood. Okay, there's definitely none on this screen. I think I might have. You would have thought it might have been one at his locker. And yet, no. Okay. Guard station. Alright, so I can't get out of the camera footage. No blood on that cactus. Nor anything else. No on his clothes. Alright, let's just present everything and see if we get anything. Aha! See this? This is the victim's ID card. Ah, the one that was on the ground in the parking lot. The number on this is 5842189. Oh, I've had this conversation, pretty sure. Well, he's already shown us it. We've had this conversation. Yeah, so the 4989596, I'm pretty sure is the one that's after. Look, the fourth number, it's a perfect match. Yes. Yes, we've established that. Okay, I'm just going to show him everything and see if we get a match on anything. Knife. Nope. Okay. Sheriff's, yep. So far, I have shown everyone that there is to show the ID card list. Oh, didn't do that. I think I've already shown them this one for definite. Oh, I was right. Boom. No. Parking lot. Nope. Now that might have been a hint from before, like for if you hadn't already shown him the ID card to get there. So maybe like we're not going to get anything from this. Like we've got all we've got. Yeah. My next plan is just to try this with Gumshoe. Something on this last page? No, that's... Oh, like we're like full of evidence as well, I guess. I've already shown him that, so that doesn't count for anything. Okay. Nope. Nope, so all left is the glove. I've definitely shown it before, but just to be thorough. Yeah, okay. So, go and talk to Gumshoe. We'll basically try this again. Okay, it's fine. At least this is quick. Aha! You can't open the lockers if your fingerprint doesn't match. If you can open it, they'll give you 50 cents. Note, the police department lacks faith in its lock system. After all, Detective Goodman was stabbed here after opening his locker. But at the same time, he was found dead over at the prosecutor's office. Okay. Yep. Can you take a look at this? This is the ID card record of the people who came in here on the day of the stabbing. I heard the rumors. So it was Goodman who came in here at the time of the murder. Whoa! I feel like, again, we've had this conversation. What is it? Yeah, that second number, Mr. Edgeworth. Okay. Yep. Yep. Detective Goodman's note. And that switchblade knife. I bet Edgeworth was the most surprised of anyone. Because of the SL9 connection. That was Mr. Edgeworth's first big case, you know, 2 years ago. That was the first time the world knew Edgeworth was a man to be feared. But why would evidence from that case turn up now? I guess it's not over, pal. Maybe there are some loose ends left on that case. Okay. I feel like at this point we're waiting for Edgeworth to show up. That's the photo that Miss Starr took. Anything you can tell us about it? That Miss Starr is quite a lady. Why, I remember it was winter. I was 16. She was the only one who ever got me to talk about what happened. 16. That's how old I am now. I wonder what happened. I wonder if Detective Gumshoe wore a trench coat in high school too. Fascinating. Okay. Same. Maybe we can go and ask her about Gumshoe now. This will be the same thing as the knife. Okay. This is my crowning achievement, my masterpiece, you might say. But art is always misunderstood, pal. Art. He was dancing proudly on the day of the awards ceremony. But there was a lot of people coming and going after the ceremony. So they took the Blue Badger away for a while. Really? Why? Oh, they said it was shameful or something like that. Shameful! I toiled night and day. I sympathize with Detective Gumshoe. but I can see why they moved it. Finding Mr. Edgeworth's car, stabbed with Mr. Edgeworth's knife, huh? What would drive Chief Prosecutor Skye to do such a thing? Wait, I didn't mean... I mean, sure, of course someone else really did it. Somebody must have a grudge against Mr. Edgeworth. And it's the same thing as this. Sure, okay. Hey, that's it. That's the King of Prosecutors Award that Mr. Edgeworth got the other day. Were you at the award ceremony, Detective Gumshoe? Of course, pal. I got an award for diligence myself. Ah, congratulations. I was wondering, why is the award a shield? And why is it broken? Oh, there's a reason. I'll tell you what it is later. Apparently he's forgotten. And then there's this. That's the victim, Detective Goodman's ID card. These days, everything's cards and secret numbers. I can never relax. That's only because you always lose your card. I always forget my secret number too. Scary, huh? My face should be ID enough. What's the world coming to? Detective Gumshoe, rebel against the system. And just in case. Detective, here's my attorney's badge. You show that to me every time we meet, pal. Real men show their police badge. Enough said. Ooh, damn. I wish I had a badge. Even an ID card would be nice. You've got one. Okay. Guard station. So we've shown you everything. Police department entrance. I know it's there as paint, but I was really expecting there to be like blood on the blue badger. Let's just make sure there isn't. There is not. Okay. Let's go. Is Edgeworth here now? No. Like I could go through the evidence carousel with her just to be sure. Might as well. Fortunately, that's also a long one. So I think these, aside from Meekins, these are the only people we have left to talk to. Or the only person we have left to talk to in this show them everything manner. So we may go and try this with Meekins. I think his thing's pretty short anyway. Okay. So I'm sort of running out of ideas. Aha! What do you think about this? The SL9 incident. It's written on that knife. And on that note. Goodman. Goodman was... Oh, we've had this conversation. Yes. Okay. As I suspected, SL9 isn't over, not yet. Yeah, and then we don't... How do we get her to tell us more about the incident? That feels like that should lead somewhere. That it ends with me asking her a question. If you think about it, I could... Okay, that's also the same... So yeah, we'll try this. We'll then go and talk to Meekins and do the same thing. Aha! She dropped that phone on the pavement. That's when you heard her talking about the muffler, right? Little did I know. It was a trap. The red car's muffler and the prosecutor's red muffler. What was this guy really trying to say, I wonder? Indeed. This will be the same as the, yeah, the knife. Obviously nothing new. I always get to this point where there's just a point where I just like completely have no idea where I'm meant to be going or what I'm doing. And then just sort of eventually accidentally stumble into it. So I'm pretty sure I've sprayed for all the blood. had these conversations. Oh. Brings us to this. No. So we just have Goodman's ID and my badge back. Ooh, I wonder, because I don't think I showed Marshall my badge, and he might be like, oh, that's interesting. Again, we've had this conversation. Looks like a petrified piece of provolone. Huh? It's not. It's my attorney's badge. I think a petrified piece of provolone would fetch more on the open market. Look, my badge isn't up for sale. Not yet, at least. Okay, so that's all we got there. Alright, before I go to the detention centre to do all this again, I doubt we'll get anything useful out of this, but we may as well. Nope. Okay, that's fair. So I've got blood on the cactus, blood in the evidence room, blood in the parking lot, and blood... not in the evidence room. Blood in Edgeworth's office. But what does it all mean? Alright, let's see. Oh, wait, this is new. Go ahead, sir. Laugh. Laugh at me, sir. Ha ha ha. I know what you want to say. You're going to tell me how she has one just like it. Me? Why would I? I know, sir. I know. I'm the only one without a girl with matching badges. Nowhere. I'm alone. All alone. Is that so wrong? Life isn't all about high school sweethearts and youthful romance, sir. Is he talking about those badges on her coat? I'd like to think there's a difference between my badge and a fashion accessory. Do you think you could take a look at this? Hey! That's it, sir. That's it. That's it. I think we've had this as well, but we'll just read through it anyway. That's what? Yeah. My head was a blank until... okay. Now I remember, sir. Yep. Alright. Nothing there. Again, at least his is pretty quick. Eek! I scared of knives, sir. It's okay, I just wanted you to take a look at it. That's it, sir. Last night, sir. That's the one. I was an apple, sir. Okay. So that was, he gave the same speech to the other knife. Okay, he's not interested in the Blue Badger. None of this. Not that. Not that. Not that. Hey, why do you have that? That's from the day it was taken at the prosecutor's office. Oh, I might have just stumbled onto it. The day that Detective Goodman's body was found in the trunk. So this means I'm a free man, innocent. If this is a dream, sir, then I hope I never wake up. If this is a dream, you'd better wake up right now. Alright, so that didn't actually tell us anything. And then I'm assuming, yeah, same thing. Yeah, I wouldn't imagine he'd have anything to say to that. Also feels like we need to talk to the chief. But I don't know where he is anymore. Both for the lost item report and for the card record. Feels like he would have information on those. You would imagine. Okay, which brings us to our final piece. Okay, so we've got all we've got from him. Criminal affairs. I sprayed this place down, didn't I? Alright, so the only thing I haven't done is properly look at all of these again. So that's good. There isn't anything inside it, is there? No. Nothing on the glove. Had the blood. Had the hole. thing, none of these can be examined like that. So we've looked over 5'9", 5'8". Huh. Interesting. But I don't know how to bring that up to. Nothing here. I mean, I might as well go through the court record for all of like the interactables. See if there's anything I've missed. I forget whether there's a thing on this. Oh, it's just my number. I've read this before. Just get all of these just to be sure. Yeah. Yabba dab. Wasn't anything else on this, was there? No. Okay. Edgeworth's Award. Just the thing about Von Kerma. Was there anything else on you, was there? Nope. The knife just has the blood. Yeah, something on that. That we don't examine. Or that. Or that. Phone. Just the boring strap. No need to push. Okay. And there's nothing else there. Okay. Bloody shoe. The other bloody part of the shoe. Okay. The other knife. Which is of course just the SL9 part. Okay. The only thing here is her name. Still marked off, so that's good. That's not look avoidable. Done that, and we've done that. Okay. So we have done that. Only thing I can think of is I have missed a bit of blood somewhere. So I'd be damned if I know where. It's definitely not here. Got nothing for him. See if maybe we could now inquire as to whether it had something to do with the cactus. And yet no. Alright. Criminal affairs. Police department entrance. Garage station. Did I check the door? I did check the door. Okay. Oh no, we've done that. We've presented him. We've literally presented everyone that we can present things to. We have presented to. There's no more presenting to be done. And yeah, there's definitely no more blood. Got everything from here. Really feels like I need to either find Edgeworth or the Chief of Police. Done all of this. Done all of this. It also feels odd that we haven't gone up to that security office. That feels suspicious. Make sure I haven't missed any blood here. It doesn't appear so. Oh, wait, on the phone. Aha! I had missed a bit of blood, as I said about 5 minutes ago. This blood must be from when Lana... No, my sister isn't the murderer. But she did call you, didn't she? At the time of the crime? And her right hand is bandaged. Hey, just whose side are you on? This has nothing to do with taking sides. So, this means that Lana's hand had blood on it. This just keeps getting worse. Okay. Alright. Let's go see Edgeworth, I guess. If he's there. He is not. Okay. This will all be the same. Just in case we may miss something. Or something comes up now. Oh wait, is this new? I know the path I've walked. No one else needs to tell me. That's how he's always been. Kinda gets under your skin, doesn't it? Okay. That was it. I don't remember seeing that, so I thought that was me. Sofa... yeah. Sofa hair's cool, sure. Desk, the chessboard. Yep. Okay. Again, that's all as it was. View. Huh. Interesting. Alright, pretty sure we have now examined everywhere, talked to everyone, shown everyone everything. Possibly the only thing I haven't examined is my own office, but there's not going to be anything with that. Still samurai, yada yada. Plant. Oh. Interesting. Sure. Okay. Evidence law. Well, when I tried reading it, it made my head hurt. Then, when I closed it, it slipped out of my hand and fell on my foot. Oddly enough, I found myself identifying with her on this one. Okay. Thought we might have been about to get something there. Okay. Detention center. We have examined. Yep. And we have talked. Yep. And we have shown him all the evidence. Didn't miss any dialogue with you, did I? Let's just see. Oh, so this is the famous divider. Sure helped us knock a hole in that testimony today. Come to think of it, this divider helped our case more than the actual witness. The grid divider. Chip off the old parking block. It's just a wall, scientifically speaking. Okay. Is there blood on the divider? Like, the closest thing to progress I've made in like the last half hour has been involving this. At last now. I'm so fascinated by the way that we just randomly found blood in Edgeworth's office. What have I missed? Huh? No blood in and around the police department. Not on that detective or the officer. Criminal affairs. We get everything here. We did. Desks, computers. Man writing his novel. Appear to have hit a bit of a dead end. Oh, didn't mean to do that. I was sort of planning to try and get to the point of the next bit of the trial, and then we'd call it a night there. I'd rather not end on, well, we've had a snag. Definitely nothing afoot here. Definitely not. What is not happening? Aha! It's a dialogue option with Gumshoe. It usually is. I feel like every time I get stuck, it's a dialogue option with Gumshoe. Now, that was a bloody violent case. Violent. So it was a murder? A serial killing. A serial killing. Maybe I don't want to get involved in this after all. But the killer made a mistake, and Mr. Edgeworth built his case around that to nab him. And this was 2 years ago. That put Mr. Edgeworth right in the spotlight, and started the rumour mill. Rumours about forged evidence. It was supposed to be all cleaned up with the transferal the other day. It was the last job he ever did. Detective Goodman, that is. Huh? What do you mean? Detective Goodman was the detective in charge of the SL9 incident, see? So that switchblade knife. The victim took the knife out of the evidence locker himself? Hey, pal, look at the time. Was there something you needed to be going to? It's just that Mr. Edgeworth's inquiries committee should be letting out soon. I'm going to go give them my report for the day. It might help, you know. Report? You mean the note written on the back of that flyer? The one that says nothing but no problems. Hey, it's Mr. Edgeworth we're talking about. I'm sure he can use a report like this. I believe in him. Who needs enemies when you've got friends like Detective Gumshoe? I'm off, pal. Later. Alright, so maybe that means we can now go and talk to Edgeworth. I should probably see what Edgeworth has to say too. Thank you. Guard station. Department. Underground parking lot. Hi, prosecutor's office. Oh my. Why is the bellboy from the hotel here? Ah, guests. My apologies. Oh, it's you. Have we met somewhere? Huh? Mr. Edgeworth, I beg your leave. So long. Is Edgeworth here? There, standing by the window, a teacup in his hand. Ah, there he is. Right. Has the hotel bring him tea service? Yeah, that's weird. Mr. Edgeworth, you're back from the district prosecutor's office inquiry? I am. By the way, Detective Gumshoe was looking for you. Yes, he brought me the latest information, it seems. Really? Was it helpful? Apparently, a new French restaurant is opening near here. I think he was trying to console me somehow. The real info is on the other side, Edgeworth. Poor Mr. Edgeworth. I think this whole thing is really taking a toll on him. Alright, well, Inquiry Committee. So, how did the Inquiry Committee go? Actually, they decided to treat this not as a case of concealing evidence, but as a communications error during the investigation. Concealing evidence? Yes, apparently there are some who believe that I concealed evidence. They gave me a warning. You were lucky this time. Again. Again. I've heard them say that so many times. Ever since that case 2 years ago. Tomorrow's trial. Are you okay for the trial tomorrow? Well, I'm still the presiding prosecuting attorney. However, something happened. They gave control of the investigation over to the police department. The police department? Yes, any further investigation for this case will be directed by the Chief of Police, Gant. I can do nothing but wait for his results. I see. Why, I ask you? Why? All along I've done only what I believe is right. I have nothing to be ashamed of. But still. Wow, I've never seen him this out of sorts. Alright, can we present you with stuff? Glove? Right, please. I'm the prosecutor on this case. You don't expect me to sit here and discuss the case with you over a cup of tea? I'll pass on the tea. Just tell me about the case. Mr. Wright, Mr. Edgeworth just told you no in a very polite manner. Whose side are you on anyway? Maybe if I just show him my best evidence, I can get some reaction out of him. Okay, so it is just about you showing him the right thing. Which we'll do by doing what I've done with everybody else, and just cycle through until I find something. I'm not sure what we're looking for here. Aha! Oh, right, I'd better check this now. As I was saying, What's this? A record of ID card usage. Edgeworth, you went into the evidence room that day, didn't you? Just before the incident occurred, no less. Yes, that's true. Why? Mr. Edgeworth? Please don't look at me like that. I was asked to go. By Chief Gant, no less. The Chief of Police. He wanted evidence for a case that wrapped up half a year ago. He told me he wanted me to keep it here in the prosecutor's office. But it was solved, right? It would have to be if the evidence was already filed. The chief has never wanted to explain himself. In any case, on the day of the stabbings, I brought this back here. Can I ask what kind of case it was? I can't say. It really has nothing to do with the current case. Now I'm curious about this other case. I'd better make a note of it. Unrelated evidence, screwdriver added to the court record. Evidence from a past case of Edgeworth's brought back to his office by Gant's request. I-16? Stubborn as always. I told you this has nothing to do with the current case. Alright. Present. Nope. You probably have nothing. Yeah, you definitely won't have anything to say about that. A knife. I know you. I know you. You've probably got a hold of some information already, right? It all has to do with that case you were on, the SL9 incident. And some dark suspicion you were wrapped up in. You're the man who revived the worst memory of my life. I figured I'd be telling you about this sooner or later. You must be talking about his father's murder in that elevator. Probably. Okay, Edgeworth, why don't you tell me about it? Tell me the truth. Allegations of forgery. The SL9 incident was a heinous serial killing case. The head of the investigation was the deputy chief of police at the time, Damon Gant. That wacky old coot was involved in the case 2 years ago too then. He was a top officer, and it was my first time working with him. I was nervous. Wow, you get nervous too, Mr. Edgeworth? What I want to know is why was a deputy chief of police on the investigation? That's a good point. In truth, I used slightly more extreme methods than normal. We were dealing with a vicious murderer. If I let him go, the blood would be on my hands. We won our guilty verdict, and the killer was executed. Wait, you didn't... Of course not! I didn't touch the evidence. Yes, I will do anything in my power to win a trial. However, I do have a code and I follow it faithfully. By the way, Emma, the chief prosecutor wanted to know something. My sister? What? If you were still studying forensic science. Uh-huh. Yes, of course. Why, just today Mr. Wright and I were using this. Luminal testing fluid, Well then, you might have use for this. Aluminum. Yeah, aluminum. I'll go for aluminum. It says aluminum. Aluminum powder for taking fingerprints. It's been chemically treated for better adhesion. Ooh. For me? Are you sure? We are the enemy, you know. I have no say in today's investigation. Do as you will. Edgeworth, I'm really... No need to thank me. Here, take your powder and these fingerprint files for everyone involved. Thanks. I'm giving these to Detective Gumshoe as well. Fingerprint set and fingerprint file received. Well, let's get going. One last investigation. Right. I do seem to remember seeing a suspicious handprint somewhere. Sure. I'm going to take it that means we are done with Edgeworth. Underground parking lot. Move to the police department entrance. First of all... So does that work the same way? Oh, it does just expand. Okay. Do we need to examine it first? Or does it only work in... It's not like the spray where you can just use it anywhere. So it doesn't appear to be anything to properly have a gander at. Because I was going to, you know, use it on our boy here. I guess not. So guard station. Move into the evidence room. There we go. That's always a good sign. Our investigation turned up a suspicious handprint. Here, in this blood on the detective's evidence locker. Let's use the secret weapon we just borrowed. I think it was given as a gift. Right, let's get started. First, choose a finger. A finger. Each finger leaves behind a slightly different imprint. So let's choose the finger that will have left behind the clearest print. I really can't tell the difference at a glance. Quit procrastinating and choose a finger. So probably either the thumb or this boy. Probably this boy. Because the thumb's like it's like the side, isn't it? Okay, now it's time to check for prints. Let me show you how it's done. Emma's starting to get that sparkle in her eyes. First we sprinkle the aluminum powder around. Huh? How do you do that? With the A button. See? Ah, it looks like that did the trick. The aluminum powder adheres completely to the print. Once the powder is well spread, just blow away the excess. Huh? How do I do that? With the Y button. Exciting, I know. Imagine you're blowing out the candles on a birthday cake. Of justice. See? Wow, that looks fun. It might take some getting used to, though. It's fine. It won't go up your nose or anything. You just pour the powder on thick and blow away the extra. Those are the basics of fingerprinting, Mr. Wright. I guess I'd better give it a try. So, dust. Aha! You did it! You found one. But this looks nothing like a fingerprint. Now that you mention it, I guess it doesn't. What does it mean? They were wearing the glove. I think it means... we're out of luck. Out of luck? The person who left this handprint must have worn gloves. Don't tell me we've been wasting our time here. Hey, calm down. That's just the way it goes sometimes with scientific investigation. But it does seem a shame. While we're at it, why don't we look for other prints? Other prints? Looking at the locker door again closely. Yeah, there's like a smudge just below. Seems like there are fingerprints outside the bloody handprint as well. Let's see if we can find a clear print. Fingerprints outside the blood. Yeah, this smudge. Alright, just powder it up. Aha! Oh, apparently I haven't found the whole thing yet. we done it? Apparently not. Aha! Yay! A print so clear it's dazzling! Dazzling. Anyway, this print took a lot of effort to find. Let's match it up right away. So, we're not done yet? This is quite a process. Well, there's no point in finding a fingerprint and not knowing who the owner is, right? Guess she's right. No, I'm right. She's Emma. Look at the fingerprint data we got from Mr. Edgeworth, and point out the person you think left these prints. How am I supposed to know who it was? I can make a pretty good guess. The bloody handprint and the fingerprints are in different places, right? That means that the prints probably don't have anything to do with our case. So, whose fingerprints would we most likely find on this evidence locker? Is Gumshoe here? Yeah. Because it was his locker. Comparison complete. Match found. Aha! So these prints belong to Detective Gumshoe. Something wrong, Mr. Wright? You give me this so what look. I guess that's probably because I was thinking, so what? Okay, so we came up with nothing this time, but there's always next time. Sometimes you hit, sometimes you miss. You gotta roll with the punches, Mr. Wright. Thanks for the sympathy. Wait, if I remember correctly, there was one other handprint in this room. Let's check it out. There sure was. Was there? Where was it? It was on here, wasn't it? Yeah. Right. There was a handprint here. Okay. Want to try using this? There go her eyes sparkling again. Check for prints. Why would I leave it be? That's the spirit. Oh, but I have to warn you about something first. What? The area with the blood was wiped away, right? We only ended up finding it using chemical means. Any prints in that area will have been wiped away too. Oh, right. So that means no prints. Would you say the probability of your hypothesis is high? Don't ask me! Anyway, we must try to find prints that weren't wiped away. Prints other than the ones left by the bloody hand. Is there something I'm missing? I was like, why would you take me into that view? If it's not here. Like, why would you bother with the zoom and also giving me this? Alright, well, let's just do... I thought it might have been on the handle. I don't see anything. There was a very obvious smudge on Gumshoe's thing. Yeah, nothing's coming up here. I think this might have been a... Why would you give me... Why would you bother with the zoom in? Aren't you being a little dramatic? Looks like a fishing pole on a metal detector, not sure what this one is. They cast a withering gaze in her direction, that screams dust me. Okay. I suppose that's different because Gumshoe was here the last time we looked at it. Same with this. Logger, it's empty. Only Detective Goodman can open its logger. So the person who took out the nice knife had to open Detective Goodman. I can't dust these, can I? No. No, I cannot. Definitely seems like I'm meant to look for something here. Oh, you know what? Although it didn't show up. Like, it didn't let me move to it, I don't think. The shirt hanging out. Yeah, like, I can't... Huh. I thought that would be it. Alright, what if I say don't dust? Yeah. Exactly. What are you wanting for me here? Like, I can't move beyond this. What are you looking for here, game? Alright, hold on. Can we... Nope. So this is all still marked as looked at. And that's the part that makes me think that there has to be something there. Alright, can we dust you? No. And yeah, that doesn't give me like a dust option, does it? No. No, okay. Interesting. Very interesting. Huh. The fact that it wants me to check. So that means, what would you say? Prints other than the ones left by the bloody hand. It's like it zooms in too far. Because yeah, I can't dust until it finds something. What is it? Alright, hold on. I have an idea. Probably not this, but we'll give this a go. Okay, so there's not any extra blood. Bring that a little bit way too. No prints. Anyway, we must try to find prints that weren't wiped away. Prints other than the ones that have left by the bloody hand. And then it zooms into here and gives you this. Oh! Okay. Not sure how I missed that when I was doing a full sweep, but okay. Alright, if it's here, we've probably found it by now. There we go. We got it. How's that? Right. That's a pretty good comparison. Maybe not. No, that's right. Okay. I mean, to be fair, it was like at a different angle. Oh. Never mind. I think we have our man. Hey, these fingerprints, they... Whose are they? Whose? Is it someone I know? It's Officer Marshall. Huh. Officer Jake Marshall? Yep, Marshall's fingerprints added to the court record. That's got to be a coincidence. He's not involved in the crime. Emma, this is decidedly different from Detective Gumshoe's prints. The luminol reaction. The blood and the fingerprints are in the same place. Oh. So we have Jake Marshall's fingerprints on a wiped blood stain. But why would Officer Marshall? It looks like our investigation is finally turning up some results. I guess this is what you'd call decisive evidence. I don't believe it. Okay, perfect. I'll take it to be continued as our end point for tonight. And we'll begin on February 24th, 9:41 AM, District Court, Defendant Lobby number 2. As soon as I can... There we go. So, why did I quit to main menu? There it is, tell screen. Just so I see exactly where we pick up. Okay, there, perfect. Alright, so, me and title screen anyway. And that is where we will pick up next time on Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trilogy. We could be nearing the end of this case, possibly on the next stream, we shall see. But that'll do it for tonight. So yeah, we'll be back with this next week, along with more Planet Coaster 2. And... Outer Worlds 2, yes. But that is not it for this week. I will be back tomorrow to begin Death Stranding, because we do love a Hideo Kojima joint around these parts. And yeah, so looking forward to that. And then yeah, we'll do it all again next week. I'll have either after the stream on Sunday or Monday morning, I'll have a schedule up for you. Keep an eye out for that. That'll be the pinned post, tweet, what have you, on my socials. That's Twitter and Blue Sky. The links are in the About Me page or whatever it's called on Twitch. You can find me there. It's probably the best way to do it. So yeah, so that'll do it for tonight though. I will catch you next time. Cheers and goodbye.